triumph in the trap.
This is for the dollar.
Do you believe in miracles?
Ay, I play chess, but only in 4D. I'm by myself, but they think I'm 4D. When they see me online, they think they know me. Go ahead, like and subscribe, you gotta show me. I applied pressure and they tried to reject it. Clearly ain't see I was a diamond, so they didn't accept it. Told me I was a failure, so I said F it. Might even start my own school and teach them a lesson. Yeah, I'ma call it South Harmon. Fly down south and get the South poppin'. One day I'ma give you a walkthrough and introduce you to this walk tool. I know you lost, that's just Dynasty talk. Cause you can't start no franchise without no Dynasty chart. I took a break from the game, they throw my Dynasty stop. Till I came back like Wembanyama, I feel like Coach Pop. I can't say that I'm the GOAT, cause you ain't gonna agree. But if I own my own farm, I can make the GOAT. Me, the ladies love the beard and they used to love the goatee. That's when I was a lamb, burning music on CDs. I wasn't born in 88, December 87, that was 16 days away. Might fly to Dallas, why not? I just got paid today. When I land this dirt statue, I came to fade away. Check the timeline for the stories and the play-by-play. My life a Patreon link, you gotta pay to play. I worked 16 hours, boy, that's an 8 and 8. X Factor like Dez Bryant, my boy 88. Why dream light when you living like a heavyweight? This ain't a 1 week thing, we grind like every day. They know my destination, Devi, like I hang with Ray. If they ain't know my name, I bet they know my name today. Treat this mic like a ATM, let's make a trade today. Drop this on Fizzle Friday, cause that's my favorite day. And I'm gonna do it my way, cause that's my favorite way. They tried to put me on the shelf like I'm layaway. Told me it ain't no way, so I made a way. Welcome to South Harmon, I'm glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, I'm glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, I'm glad you here today. Hit that Patreon link if you here to stay, Treat this mic like an ATM, let's make a trade today.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What's good, everybody? Wednesday night AMA. I'm so used to saying Tuesday, I almost fucked that up. Not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. You, for almost fucking it up though, you were just fine. You know. What's good, everybody? We got DB here. We got all the shitheads here, man. You know, literally, figuratively. I don't know if you can see. There's a little bit of shit from the one shithead kind of creeping into Mike's screen there. Sorry about that. But
you're good.
It was actually intentional. But what's up, fellas? We got Shane here. Redwords is here. We have.
Dude, I love these colors too. Like they go with the neon in the back.
Mike, that's literally where the that's what started the switch over, man. We wanted to get a little fresh face in here.
How about this?
Fresh shit, you know? Oh, wow. Who is
the
it?
Undertaker.
What's poppin', family? Fizzle. Fizzle's been doing an unbelievable job running our our Twitter and our social so far.
Oh, yeah.
And as I say that, I forgot to stream this on Twitter. So we'll get that next time, Fizzle. That's my bad. I'm out here just, living life. Corey's here.
Meals. Happy meals. If
Happy
you know,
meals,
you know.
man. If you know, you know. There's not that many people that do.
Cheers, everybody, to a good Wednesday night. No football till tomorrow. Let's go. We got a little space. Got a little bit of time.
Well, we got games tomorrow. We actually have two pieces of newsworthy things to cover besides the thumbnail. Cam Akers ends up getting traded, right?
Are you back in? This
Mike,
is the question everyone wants to know.
I'll get there, but let me tell you, we have Nick Chubb's injury. Mike, I forgot to bring him on. I'm going to see if my wife will. Listen, I got a whole collection of jerseys that mean nothing anymore. So if you guys are into old jerseys, if you want Trey Lance and the Niners, if you want Cam Akers on the Rams, if you want DeAndre Swift on the Lions, if you want a torn ACL Nick Chubb, if you want it, I got it. So
are you telling me we should be worried about Mike Evans now going forward?
Mike, you know why I wore this? Is because literally this is the one in there I can say, not only is he playing, but he's actually like had a good game. I had Josh Jacobs in there, minus 2 yards. Like, nah, you ain't. I'd rather you not played. Like
I can't say shit. I got a Carson Wentz jersey and I got a Antonio Gibson, and you know how those are going. So
now the Gibson one sucks, but Carson Wentz got you, like, he didn't win it himself, but he got you there, and then you guys won the Super Bowl. So you could always just hang your hat on that.
That's what I got.
The Browns haven't done shit, so I'm just
That's fair. All right, Cam
now
Akers.
that we got the misery out of the way,
Cam Akers. People want to know you traded to the Vikings.
So I'm on record. The problem is this.
Alexander Madison sucks.
Madison obviously has not been good. The running game has been very bad for them. Ty Chandler's not it. Okay, so they acquire Akers. Now, I think they're not doing this with the idea of he's going to just play second fiddle to Madison. At the same time, I did say and was on record with you, Mike, recently talking about how the Vikings backfield, it's not really, although the talent's not there, it's not a good situation for running the football right now.
Correct.
Right? The O-line sucks. I mean, he landed somewhere. I think it's good news for Akers, but I don't know that this offense is going to be wheels up with him now. I think it's a place where he could go and be the number one running back. Like, there's only a handful of those places out there, so he wins there. But as far as him like going to smash it, I mean, I'm lukewarm on it, I guess is the best way to put it, right?
It's pretty hard to go from the Rams offensive line, which is fucking horrible, by the way, to a shittier situation. But somehow it happened.
Right.
Somehow, magically, through whatever fuck magic you got, it happened.
Mello. What up, Mello?
I was really hoping for like the Chiefs. We always hope for that shit, but the Ravens seemed like a logical spot.
Mm-hmm.
With the Jamal Williams hamstring, I was like, maybe we put the Kendra hype on hold just a little bit. Maybe we get a little Cam Akers as the Thunder to
down in Nolans, right?
And the Dolphins are always in play, but I don't think Cam Akers ever kind of really fit that Dolphin style, right? That stretch zone. Like, I don't think he's really that type of back, but hey, who knows? But
I mean, he's a slasher, man. He's a very good slasher, but he's pretty. As much as I like the guy, he's kind of one-dimensional in that way, right?
If you weren't already out on Alexander Madison, what you should be. Not because I think Cam Akers is some great talent, but it was fucking shitty before he got there. It's going to be even shittier now that there's two of them.
I mean, I do think Akers is talented, but I don't think Madison is very talented. But I don't think it matters really all that much. I think Madison's done now. I think as far as like the hope for him, like, he had the backfield for 2 weeks, and this is what they decided they wanted to do. They had 2 weeks of it. They saw 2 weeks of it, and they said, you know what, we'll swap late picks. We'll take this Cam Akers on.
Yeah. We touched on the Nick Chubb thing, but just quickly, Adam, I think both you and I are in agreement. Like, sucks, but see ya. Like, it's a business, at least for our fantasy teams. I did see that Mello question in there too. Mello, just quickly, such a shitty way to end Game of Thrones, man. Such a shitty way.
Awful.
Great seasons leading up, and then you kind of got the feel through midway through the second to last one. You're like, what the fuck are we doing? And then you get to that last one, and you had some hype moments, some very good stuff, but the minute, I'm fuck it. It's been years, man. I can do spoilers. The minute they killed the fucking, they killed the Ice King, the whatever the fuck that dude's name was, whatever they called him, the guy who fucking ran the Army of the Dead. They killed him in like episode 2. You're like, bro, we still got like 6 more to go. What the fuck? We're stretching this baby out, ain't we?
the way they rushed it though, at the same time, like doing that, but also rushing the production through the Starbucks cup and the one. I mean, there's some awesome stuff, but
fucking horrible.
I love this, man. We got Mike's drink. Hey. Oh no, that was just the glow. It looked like your drink matched the thing.
It could.
I like that.
It could, but never fear, Mello. The spinoff, right? Go check that one out. They've actually done a great job through the one season they've done so far. So here's the good things. Please don't fuck that one up.
Adam's jersey collection is sounding like the Madden curse. Honestly, it's you could take that as very much so. 8/9/24. If you know, you know. The Expo is 10.5 months away. Our boy Corey says we're already excited. We got a question in here. One of our first questions. Did you guys leave DD?
Yeah,
we're not with DD anymore. We
a couple months ago.
Yeah, so we're not doing our stuff on their platform. No podcast on them. Yeah, it was
a month ago.
It was right before the Expo. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say a couple months. Listen how far off.
It's a month and a half.
When you do this and you got such incredible people out here, and we do so many AMAs, so many live streams with everybody, and so much content, it does feel like months have gone by. But we've had so much happen since then. I guess it's almost felt like a year, Adam. We got Achilles snapping left and right. We got star running backs going down with knee injuries. We got once promising running backs getting traded to purgatory.
Yep.
Night King. I'm sorry. Listen, I've been drinking T-Rock, and it's been a minute since I watched Game of Thrones, the original. Okay, every now and then I'll go back and watch it start to finish, and it's just like a kick in the balls whenever you get to that last season. Okay, so
I'm with you.
Don't try to out nerd me.
T-Rock, I'll let you out nerd me. I won't try to pretend like I can nerd with T-Rock or Koopa. It's okay.
What was it on an AMA? I called the rapper. Or I called it was on Dynasty Trades in 5 when we went on there. I said the Pokemon was a Charmeleon.
Yeah.
Like the fucking rapper and the Pokemon combined.
Yeah, Chameleonaire and
whatever the fuck it was. I think Jay Jaxon found that Pokemon card where it was a Charmeleon riding dirty. Fuck, I don't know.
I love it.
We're off base already.
No, it's not. Let's get the Puka Nacua and let's get the questions. So, Mike, you and I made 2 trades today for Puka Nacua, swapping with Quentin Johnson. You'll see that on the trade show. I think it's worth at least discussing briefly on the AMA. If you guys have questions on Puka specifically, you can put them in, or thoughts, just comments, whatever. Let us know.
Yeah.
I really believe, Mike, there's not going to be a super in-between on this. Like, I do think we're going to see, this is going to be a moment where we look back and we're like, man, why did we either buy in or did we not buy in? Like, I feel like you don't start that strong to just become a very, middle-of-the-road talent. Yeah, he could end up totally, flaming out, but I just don't see it, man. Personally, I think he's at least going to be someone that is playing in this league for a while. You don't come out and earn 15 and 20 targets for 2 weeks, man.
Let's just say we've never seen a wide receiver start this way. But can you think of anyone that's come relatively close, maybe 75%, who went to nothing? And I mean doing it as a rookie, because we've seen these flame outs, these hot names pop up, mid-season or whatever, who didn't do shit for their entire career, but then they're back to being nothing. Eagles legend Travis Fulgham comes to mind. You know what I mean? He had that great stretch.
That was the guy. His name was escaping me. That was the guy I was thinking of. Yes,
we had that, but that wasn't a guy who was a rookie, right? That not from the jump. And literally, Puka's been doing it from year one. I can't think of anyone right offhand. Curious to see if anybody has one or a name they throw out, but it's going to be tough, Adam.
But even then, if we were to talk about that though, right? Let's say you find one where it's they had a very good start. Who?
Kiki Kuti.
I mean, but he didn't come out his first 2 games and just light. My point is too, even if you had,
I got one.
What do you got?
Allen Hurns.
Okay, Allen Hurns. Let's pull it up, because what I was going to say is that there's probably guys that have had a very strong start for their rookie season, Mike. But here's the other thing we have to acknowledge. Even then, let's even say we get a small sample size of these people. Mike, nobody is in the sample size of earning 35 targets in 2 weeks.
True.
There's also levels, as you Philly people like to say, right? There's levels to this shit, all right?
I just realized how lost I am, too. I type in Allen Hurns' name on Player Profiler, and for whatever reason, it's not loading. I've been having problems with it. And I feel lost. I don't know what to do now. That's how much Player Profiler has always been a crutch. So shout out to them and that awesome-ass website, because I type in Allen Hurns and I can't get anything out of him. I'm scared. I don't know where to get fucking stats from now.
Well, I mean, he had 677 yards, but Pro Football Reference, I guess, would be the best place to go, right?
I guess so. This fucking sucks. I don't know what to do now.
But anyway, you pull that up. What I was going to say is that even if we find some people, Mike, which if you're in the chat and letting us know, QT, whoever it is, nobody's come out and had that type of target share. And it's not even just that. He's thrived in them. 100-plus yards in 2 games in a row. So, by the way, Player Profile is down right now, someone says. So,
God damn it. This is horrible.
Victor Cruz, someone's saying it here.
Victor Cruz
strong.
was different, right? We talked about him on an Americans game episode maybe a month ago, right, with Eric. Just kind of like these preseason breakouts. And Victor Cruz had a great preseason, but then he didn't actually make the roster his
Right.
rookie year, right? And then he came out his second year, and then, he dominated for like 2-3 years, but then injuries kind of caught up to him. So different. Like I'm trying to think of one who came out as a rookie, just like this on fire with this little of draft capital. You know what I mean? Like, you can throw out Anquan Bolden, who Puka Nacua just broke records, but I think Anquan Bolden was a second-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Like, he
had draft capital.
Yeah, he was a pretty touted prospect headed in. Like, this is a tough one. Alan Hearns was like the first guy.
So I got it up here, by the way, Mike, and just to give you an idea of how his start was relative to Puka Nacua's, okay? Alan Hearns, here's game log. I'm looking at it right here. His first game, he had 9 targets, 4 catches, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. All right?
Nothing close to what Puka's doing.
Even still, now he did have the 2 touchdowns, right? But then the next weeks, so you got 6 targets, 2 catches, 13 yards. 3 targets, 1 catch, 1 touchdown for 63 yards. 6 targets, 5 catches, 68 yards, no touchdowns. He did have 11 targets the following week, but only 4 catches for 26. My point here is, Mike, he only in his rookie season even surpassed 10 targets in 2 games.
I get you.
Like, not saying he had a bad rookie season, by the way, or a bad start with 110, but like, we haven't seen this. Like, I just want people to understand that, like, when I put Out of This World, this is something we have not seen before from even many rookies, period. Like, just understand Justin Jefferson started slow.
Yeah.
Like, how many rookies even go back and tell me, like, that even include high draft capital, that came out over 10 targets, over 100 yards, first 2 games, period?
Yeah, not very many. Not very many at all.
I mean, it's just
that kind of explosiveness.
There's just I think we just need to acknowledge it. Whether he ends up being awesome or not, like, that'll find out. But I was willing to take it for Quentin Johnson a couple times today, Mike.
BC said in chat about Marcus Colston, and yes, Marcus Colston did blow up his first year. Now,
Marcus Colston's a good one.
It wasn't like, I don't think it was super early, because if I remember right, I was doing my home league at the time, and there's a funny side story about Marcus Colston, right? So home league had him. These guys, and I've talked a little bit about this league. Like, I love these guys to death, but sometimes there's shit that just sticks in my mind forever. Marcus Colston, nobody drafted him, right? He was unheard of. Even I didn't really know about him. I think we get to like week 2 or 3, and we didn't have Fab at the time. We had waiver claims, right? So it goes in order.
Yep.
And I think I might have been like the 4th.
Okay.
Marcus Colston just came off a pretty good game, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm putting in a waiver claim for this guy. Like, top priority, right? First one I do. The guy in front of me also put in a claim for a Colston, but it was Marquise with like a K. It was like a Colts special teams gunner that was in the ESPN data. Marquise Colton. It wasn't Colston. It was Colton. He misspelled the fucking name. So we got awarded Marquise like Colton from the Colts or some shit like that. Ooh. And I ended up with Marcus Colston, which was fucking awesome. But
by the way,
I remember that would go down.
Colston had a great rookie season. He's a little over 1,000 yards, I believe. But let's also acknowledge that's pushing 20 years ago.
It was a while.
And it's, the game's almost a little changed, but he had a great rookie season. Looking at multiple 100-yard games here. Anyway.
Even Pro Football Reference is being a pain in the ass. Like, apparently I don't get stats tonight. That's all. I don't get to look up anything. They just want you to give commentary and comments. They fucking knew I just had to get out here and like talk about Game of Thrones, but then fuck it up to the point that T-Rock loses his mind. That's exactly what they want.
All right, Slashy says, call me stubborn, but some of these Puka trades I'm seeing are insane. I would die before I gave up a first for a late round rookie. What happens when Kupp is back? So I would say this, Slashy. Let's talk about this, actually. When Kupp is back, what role is Puka Nacua playing? I think some people are maybe don't watch enough or don't see. Like, he's playing a lot outside. He's playing what the Robert Woods role was in this offense, for those that want to know. So when Cooper Kupp comes back, what's going to happen? I mean, obviously Cooper Kupp is going to demand a ton of targets. No, if we're projecting him to get 15 to 20 targets for the rest of his career, we're all being idiots. That's not happening, right? Like, it's not happening for 15 to 20 targets for the rest of his career. All right, but
what's that a pace for? Like
almost 300, 280 for the season. In a 16-game season, it's almost 300 when we go 17 games.
Right.
But I do think, like, okay, let's say Cooper Kupp comes back and is even the out. Is it fair to say that he could still earn about half of those targets, like 8 and 10 in a game? Absolutely. Like that's still, Mike, puts him in the category of the elite guys. Like, understand he's 10 targets ahead of Justin Jefferson, who's second in the NFL. Like, you don't earn 20 targets are earned. People aren't just throwing you the ball 20 times because they feel like, hey, let's get it to Puka. Like, that's not how this works. I don't care at any level. In the NFL, that's not how it's going to be. So I think that when Kupp comes back, I think Puka may not be, like ridiculous volume, but it still could be high enough to where it's actually a benefit for him, because Cooper Kupp now demands some attention from the defense as well. So I'm not tremendously worried about that, but at the same time, like I also get what you're saying, Slash. You don't want to just start moonshotting like the payments for Puka Nacua right now because of 2 games. So it's a tough one. It's honestly probably the most polarizing topic in Dynasty right now, in my opinion.
I think there's some very, very, and for me, I'm going to default to the process play, like Slashy's saying. Like, you and I are kind of on different ones here. Like, I'm okay if I miss out. Like, I'm okay. Am I going to kick myself if Puka Nacua is Rams' version of Robert Woods, right? Like, that's where he gets. Like, Rams' version of Robert Woods when he was really firing, and we were having that discussion on who's the one in L.A. Like, is it Woods? Is it Kupp? Right before Stafford got there, that was a serious conversation. And it's not like even once Stafford got there, Robert Woods was an afterthought. He didn't become an afterthought until he got hurt. Okay? Like, he was still putting up numbers. I'm not saying there's a scenario where he can't coexist or he can't do that. Like, I think it's very realistic what you're talking about, Adam. But also, more times than not, if I just take this approach where I go, all right, late round drafted wide receiver, late round drafted running back approaches, first round draft pick compensation territory. If I just cash out at that, more times than not, I'm going to be right. And even if I'm wrong, I'm not wrong big. You know what I mean? You didn't spend shit for him. Now, conversely, if I'm on the other hand, Adam, there's no way in hell you're going to find me sending a first round pick for Puka Nacua right now. Like, there's nothing. Okay. We get to week 13 and I'm on like a contender and he's still producing the way he has been, or at least like what you talked about with like the 8 to 10 targets somewhere in there, and he's still in that wide receiver 1 conversation, upper echelon wide receiver 2, even back end wide receiver 2. I think at that time, then I go, fuck this pick. Like, who cares? We got a few games left. I'm just trying to make a playoff push. I need points on my team. That's what I'm doing. It's so hard for me to do now because, the dude could get injured. The dude could relegate himself once Kupp's back. You could find out, I've seen the comments in the chat, like Matt Stafford loves to lock in on one guy. I'm not saying he couldn't have this Robert Woods role, but what if Stafford, gets his bay back and all of a sudden he's just throwing nothing but a Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua is still doing his thing, but, maybe it's 4 targets a game. Maybe it's 5 targets a game, and they're using Tutu Atwell deep as like the stretch the field kind of guy. There's so many variables in it where I'm just process-wise, I'm just going to cash out. I'm just going to say, okay, now I understand what everybody's saying. Like, the kid has been damn impressive. And I can't give you a single comp where I go, yeah, you remember that one time this guy started just like this or even close to it and then just flamed out and did nothing? I got nothing for you. Right?
Well,
he's the outlier of outliers if there ever was an outlier. And sometimes you just need to bet on those guys. Sometimes.
There you go.
But this is going to be a gut call, and this is going to be a comfort call. And I'm telling you, with my gut and my comfort, I say I'm good. Like, I'm walking away from the casino while I'm ahead.
Gotcha.
If I could have played that other hand, yeah, maybe I could have doubled my money again. Maybe I could have. But you know what I could have done? I could have blown it all too. Like, I could have lost fucking everything, and then it wouldn't have mattered anyways.
Well, and I mean, I'll just – because I think you hit on some very good points with the process play of Puka, right? Let's remove Puka for a second. The process play is if you get a late player, like, forget position even, outside of maybe quarterback, like Jalen Hurts type thing where you got him in the 2nd or 3rd round of drafts.
Right.
Okay? Outside of that in Superflex, it's, all right, we got this crazy value bump. You went from a 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Now you're getting first plus money. Like, you just cash out, you take the winnings. Mike, I would say, though, the one thing that does concern me is, like, it almost feels like a parlay. Like, you're going to say, I hit 2 of these 3 legs, and I'm going to hit the cash out button.
Yeah.
But you know what happens if you hit this bet? You're going to hate that cash out.
Yeah, I get you.
That's part of my problem, and it's like, Now, to the point of sending a liquid first, I try to get a little different than that. Like, it's my Quentin Johnson share who I'm not panicked on at all, but I feel like in best ball, I can replace that. You know, like, it's not a liquid pick that I have to worry about if my team sucks or can I leverage that with something else. It's Quentin Johnson. I'll make that pivot. The point that, you know, a first-round pick or getting past that, it's going to be hard. But in process, I think the other part of the process is we don't have a process for someone this good. And you kind of already touched on that. So, interesting to see what the people think. Put comments in here. Let us know, man. Timothy says, hard to argue with history. Puka's hard to quantify. It's the case. Keep us posted, though. Keep comments. Keep letting us know what you think. Let's get into questions, Mike.
Hey, Marcus Colson had a hell of a start to his year.
He did.
By the way. Finally got it to.
Oh, that was the one thing I did want to say, Mike. You know what's crazy about Robert Woods, by the way? I just went through his game logs from 2019 to 2022. He had, you know, double-digit targets in, like, handful of games. He had 100 yards 2-3 times in all these times. Like, and I just want people to know Robert Woods, I'm not saying was bad. He was good. He was really good. But, like,
and we still talked about him very rosily.
Right. And this has happened for 2 games in a row for this kid, and, like, there's people that want to kind of, like, push it down. Like, I think we need to at least acknowledge what the fuck is happening, right? Like, at minimum.
What a fucking value. How about that? How about we celebrate the fact that
anyone that drafted him or took him, Mike, and these pre-drafts that no one drafted him, he got $0 fab dollars and turned it into
him up off of waivers. Let's go.
Congrats. Yeah. Everyone that has Puka, listen, this is a good problem to have, right? This is a good problem to have.
I understand the other thing too. Just the last thing I'll say on it, Adam, before we do it too. If you find, you know, $1,000 laying on the street, right? We'll get rid of the whole, like, doing the right thing and turn it in and all that bullshit, right? But just say you came into $1,000 that you weren't planning on. If you lose it all, who gives a fuck, right? Like, there's also that aspect of it with Puka. You didn't spend shit on him. Who gives a fuck? Like, unless you're out here, you're the one sending the first, you know, for Puka.
That's where it changes now, right? That's where the dynamic would change. Exactly.
That's where the dynamic changes. But if you got him, you picked him in 5th round, 4th round, you found him on waivers, whatever, you picked him up in your redraft league with some fab week 1. Who gives a shit, man? If you want to ride it out, ride it out. Take it to the moon. Who gives a fuck? It was free money to begin with. You're playing for free. It's like when you win your league, you know, and you got 6 years or 7 years of league dues already paid for. I do whatever the hell I want with this team. I'll blow this fucker up. I'll start a kicker, even though we don't even have kickers in my Superflex spot. Like, I'll do what I want. It's my team. It's free.
All right, man. Because I like it though. That's a good analogy too, right? Like, now the problem is if it goes back to 0, you know, I don't think this one's going back to 0, but if it goes down, you're gonna maybe it may go down and you may not like the fact that you didn't sell, but those are risks you have to, you know, figure out what you're going to do with. All right, 12-team, full PPR, start 11, lineup, mild contender, Mike. I have 2 top 5, 24 first. Rashad, he wants to trade Rashad, Christian Watson for Puka and DJM. The only other real running backs are Pacheco and Dillon. So start 11 lineup, Mike. Would you trade Rashad White and Christian Watson for Puka and DJ Moore?
That might be an actual yes. Right.
I would.
That price isn't too prohibitive.
Well, can I tell you why I would do this? For me, Christian Watson to Puka for me, Mike, I think it's close. I would say in value, like, I know people are very still bullish on Christian Watson, and Jordan Love's look good enough to where they're not wrong to be bullish on him, right? I'm not as bullish still. However, like, if you wanted to take him slightly ahead of Puka, that's fine. I personally would rather have Puka over Christian Watson. But even if you said those are close, or you want to lean Christian Watson, Mike, in a start 11, I'll take DJ Moore over Rashad White, because not that Rashad White didn't look good, DJ Moore, I can start 5 to 6 receivers in this scenario. I want DJ Moore in this format, big time.
Yeah.
That's the part that swindles it for me to that side, for sure.
Yeah.
I would trade away Rashad and Watson to go get Puka and DJ Moore. And I think the nice part here is, if you told me now, Mike, it's DJ Moore and Christian Watson are close, even if you lose, you take a small value loss to go to DJ Moore. If I'm betting against Rashad White or Puka, like, I'll be fine losing on Rashad White for Puka Nacua now. I'll absolutely be fine on that.
That's fair, right? Running back, sketchy profile. You know, I know he had a good game. Don't hate me. Right. But you know, there's probably a lot of bad games incoming too, where people are going to regret it. And we see this shit all the time with running backs. So,
yep, that's where if you do it that way. All right, 12-team, half PPR rebuilder. I was off offer Justin Fields and Trey Palmer for my Goff and Kupp. Would have been a smash at the start of the season. So he's just talking about one that he,
I'm still in on Fields. I actually tried to get Fields off for Redwoods just about an hour ago.
And it didn't. Work. So what happened?
Didn't work. He still likes Justin Fields too. So I'm pretty sure that's why he's coming here. He just wants affirmation, or he wants to tell me to really fuck off in that trade offer. Either way.
Probably both.
I'm not panicked on Justin Fields yet. Like, there's some things that are concerning. Okay. So Justin Fields or Jared Goff, I'm still taking Justin Fields by a fucking landslide. Now, Kupp or Trey Palmer?
Come on.
It's got to be Kupp by a landslide, right?
By a country mile. I do like this question by the recovered Ridley Truther. Do you think they ice Kupp even longer than needed or full system go when healthy? I'll say this. I think that when he's healthy, it's going to be full system to go. But I think there is something to be said that maybe they give him a touch more time to recover when you got Puka Nacua playing the way he's playing.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to rush you, And I also think with Cooper Kupp, the interesting part about him is, like, are you going to rush if this team's sucking? Like, they're not sucking right now, but that's part of what makes it nice for him is he has a little bit more time possibly coming his way.
Remember when we were talking about the Rams, tanking for Caleb Williams? How's that going so far?
Well, they're going to need to really turn it around in the sucking department if they're going to tank for Caleb Williams, right?
I guess they better stop throwing to Puka Nacua, huh?
Pello says, "What up? What up, Pello?" So we got not sure. Oh, we already touched on this. All right, let me get to the other questions I have here. Is Sam Howell worth a first? Mike, this question's for you, buddy.
League format depending, and by league format depending, I mean if I was in a best ball league, yes. If I was in a lineup league. No. Lineup, no. Best ball, yes.
I'll be honest, Mike. I'm probably not sending my first for Sam Howell, even if my team's pretty good. Now, if I had like a bunch of extra first line around and I felt like I was not really wanting to bet against a specific team, maybe in that scenario. But I'm not. I'm personally not there, and I am very in on just getting extra quarterbacks. But here's the problem for me with Sam Howell, Mike, is I don't. He has looked good enough, but he's also not like off the page anywhere. Like, I'm not feeling secured in him, but I don't feel like he's looked incompetent. Is that fair assessment? Like, he's looked
very fair.
He looks
very fair.
I'd say serviceable so far.
Yep, very fair. He is a quarterback, so you got that going for you.
That part is true, though. In best ball, you want a lot of those, for sure.
About the most backhanded compliment you could get. He's a
quarterback. It's my quarterback.
He's a quarterback, and I threw best ball into the same sentence, so it's like. No.
I think Mike must be feeling pretty good about a lot of things. Getting a new job today, so something like that, because for him to come out here and just disrespect Sam Howell, the guy that he absolutely loves,
not disrespected.
It's a backhanded compliment. Let's just admit it. All right, this is a guy. When I first met Mike, his icon, his logo on Sleeper. That's all I knew him by, is the Sam Howell logo. And now he's out here sinning this guy. Let's just come on. 12
Look how
team,
far I've come, man. I turned around on Brian Robinson. Now I'm a B-Rob fan. Like, who knew?
I can't even look
Wonderful
at you.
world.
12 team PPR Superflex start 10. I have a heap of okay wide receivers. Yeah, this is troublesome here, especially in start 10. DJ Moore, Zay Flowers, Mike Williams, Godwin, Puka, Paris Campbell, Sutton. We're getting to outside of okay here. Gabe, Deontay, Perks. So there's plenty of guys. I get what you're saying, though.
I got 9.
Package
I'm not fucking counting Paris Campbell. Pass. Yeah. I got 9.
Well, you do currently have a hammer in Puka Nacua, so otherwise seen.
There you go.
Do I package up? Yes, absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
So,
yes.
Mike, actually, could you pull up on Warp the roster construction on, let's say, a 10 team, right? Mind Warp maybe go to? Because I think that our roster construction for like a 25 or 30 man roster. So, Elliot, if you could let us know how many roster spots you have, that would be really helpful, because it's going to be right around 7, I think, Mike. And he already has higher than that, right? Like,
yeah.
I would love to tier up. And I think one of the ways you do this, and Mike, you let me know what your thoughts are. Like, I think if you're going to do it, and I know it's not, I know we like Zay Flowers right now. I think Zay Flowers is one of the chips you're going to have to move, though, to tier up. Because no one's typically going to let you tier up with these guys that have this like insulatedly safe value, right? Like DJ Moore's value is not going up and down a ton. Chris Godwin's value is not going up and down a ton. Mike Williams not going up and down a ton. The guys that have that sexiness on you, it's Zay, and that's
Those
it really.
Are the ones to do it with. Yes.
Yeah. So you got to go with Zay, I think, as one of the pieces that packages you up if you're going to get into an elite or borderline elite wide receiver.
12-team, start 10, 25-man rosters. Roster construction tells you should have about 5 wide receivers.
Okay, so yeah, and I would say like I
you're
tend to in
rocking
lineup, I'd maybe err like a little stronger than that, but I'd say 5, 6, maybe 7 at the most. You'd probably want to have here. And you have, what'd you say, 9? Like, yeah, tier up, absolutely tier up, man. You're only starting 10, so you could start maybe 4 or 5 at the most.
Yeah, if I go to start 11 30-man rosters, which he said there's 30 roster spots, right? But it's also factoring into one more starting position. Tells you 7.
There you go. And I think 6 to 7 is a good one for this league. You got 30 roster spots. You're only starting 10. I think depending on the guys, it's 6 to 7.
Yeah,
so
I would just go with the. I'm with you too. Like people probably ain't paying for DJ Moore. They know what you're doing. Definitely ain't paying for Mike Williams, Chris Godwin, maybe.
Godwin's at the worst point though. Like he's coming off of 2 games where he didn't do much. Yeah. Bucks offenses looked okay. His name's not sexy anymore. It's just.
I mean, you by all means you can try it. You can try to package a Deontay and a Burks together. You can try to package a Sutton and a Deontay or whatever the hell you want to do with that aspect. But I would tell you, just like Adam did, Zay Flowers is probably the sexiest name out there outside of Puka, who you probably want to hold on to for this exact reason. You're in a start 10 and he's producing a shit ton. Zay Flowers is the one that you like. How about I give you Zay and DJ Moore? Can I get a Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins? Like, can I move up and get a stud?
Anytime, Elliot. No problem. Now,
Tyreek
who is
Hill,
the target?
Stephon Diggs, DeVonta Adams.
I say if you're going to try to do this in the tier up, Mike's hitting a lot of the names. I think the best way to do it probably is not going to Garrett or CD because they're just going to cost an arm and a leg because there's youth involved, right?
The old guys.
You don't have to necessarily get all the way to Adams where it's like there's 1 year of like really good production possibly left, or if he gets hurt, it's immediately cliffing. But that type of an idea, Tyreek is 100% one that I would love to go after. Diggs would be exactly the same idea. Yes, those two in particular are
There
nice.
are still people out there who hate Amon-Ra because of draft capital. Just speaking of Puka Nacua, like there's people that won't let that shit go.
100% a buy
because he's slow and he didn't have draft capital. Remember last year when DJ Chark was going to kill Amon-Ra? Because Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yep. Pepperidge Farm.
I'm petty as a motherfucker.
Sheesh. Wow. That is that's awesome.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. What do you mean sorry? No, I think Diggs, Hill. I'm pulling up just so I have the names in front of me. I think like the problem is when you get to like Olave, these guys, they're gonna have the cost is just an arm and a leg. But like right now with keep trade cut, right? Zay Flowers is wide receiver 15. Mike, for me, and I know you like him. This is the perfect time to tear off of him up.
Sorry, Zay. I know I love your helmet, and I just talked about you on America's Game, how it's my favorite piece of memorabilia. If you're wide receiver 15 on keep trade cut, process play. I just talked about it with Koopa. It applies to everyone, not just fucking Puka, okay? Not just Puka. It'll also apply to Zay Flowers. If you're going to give me wide receiver 15 prices, RIP. I'll help you pack your shit. Get the fuck out.
Just to let people know, here are the receivers ahead of him on Keep Trade Cut. Not that you don't have a computer or a phone.
It's not a big list if it's only 14.
But I want to read them because I want you to think about the names I don't say. All right? Okay. It's going to be crazy, Mike. Well, 2 people ahead of them, which is wild to me.
2 rookies.
JSN is still ahead of him. If you're going to say, so now he's 14. Addison is 13, right?
Big play production.
So now when you really get to what the list is, Mike, forget those couple of rookies ahead.
It's everyone that's really, really good at football.
Stephon Diggs, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith. These are the elite producers, man. What are we doing? Behind him is Ridley, Aiyuk. Devontae Adams is behind him.
We told this man to tear up. He might actually tear down.
I would be. You know what I'm doing is I'm tearing down to Calvin Ridley. I'm tearing down to Devontae Adams. I'm tearing down to. Jeez, man.
See if any of these idiots will give you a second on top of one of these guys.
No, but
cut's wild.
But I do think though. I mean, yeah, and I think that's probably a little bit It's inflated.
so.
It's not really probably what's in most of your leagues, but he's a sexy target, I think, right now for people. So if I can get to Diggs, if I can get to Higgins, I think Higgins is a good one too. Higgins, Diggs, and Tyreek are my targets, and Amon-Ra.
Adam, the only thing. So I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago, and this big shout out to the Dynasty Nerds crew, Jared Wackerly, all those guys over there. They do really good work, but they have an integration coming soon with Sleeper, where they'll actually have a Dynasty trade calculator like built into it. The only thing I saw with it, like, one, congratulations to those guys. Congratulations. That's huge. That's huge. The only thing I saw, like, me being me, was like, fuck. Sleeper missed an opportunity to put keep trade cut as the integrated trade calculator so we could abuse the shit out of it. Damn it.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Damn it. I want to trade Zay for wide receiver 15 prices. Like, yeah, buddy, just give me DeVonta Adams in a second. Keep trade cut says it's even. Let's do this.
Zay or Drake London, Mike?
Still Drizzy for me.
Really?
Still Drizzy.
Keep trade cut says it's Zay, by the way.
They definitely do.
I think
they also say a lot of shit.
I think this one's close, but I want Drake London still ahead for sure.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Drake.
All right.
Yeah, I want Drake. Drake.
I got a super chat, but Jay, just hold on one second. Trust me on this. Let's see.
You teeing it up?
Yeah.
Something special here?
Yeah, I got you.
Love it.
In a 12-team start 11 best ball league. Oh, I like this. With a 0.2 points per carry. What moves are you trying to do with the mad running backs with preseason value like Najee? He's saying.
What are you going to do? You're stuck.
Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. I don't know. There's not much you can do. Well,
you're stuck.
Can you pivot to a grosser name and just kind of forego the fact that you like? Would you pivot out of Najee for a name that's somewhat producing but not sexy? That's the question.
In best ball, you could.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I think he's kind of asking.
You got to pick up pieces. So let me pull up the keep trade cut. Najee Harris at RB25. Adam, holy fuck! Could you get a James Conner plus? That would be a move. Yes. Mostert plus, definitely you could do that. I would think. Zach Moss, like here's the thing. Like, you take a Najee, and if you really want to get out of him and you don't want to feel stuck, you take it and you get like 3 type Zach Moss type pieces. Like, that's the way you pivot out. Where it's so absurd for the guy taking it, going like, oh, look, it's Najee. Even though I don't fucking like him, it's still Najee Harris, and I'm giving you 3 Zach Moss types. That's the move to get out of him. If you can't get that kind of thing done because people are wise to the whole best ball, like 1 for 3 type moves, you're stuck. You're stuck. Like, you're just going to have to write it out and hope for better
Here's
days.
the question, though, Mike. Can you go to, like, people below him 1 for 1? Like, can you just say, you know what, man, this Najee thing ain't for me?
To?
Well, can you do it, and would you want to James Conner, to David Montgomery, to, like, these types? No. You can't do it, or you wouldn't want to do it?
Wouldn't want to do it. The only one I can make a case for to do it, that's below him right now on keep trade cut, would be Alvin Kamara on a contender.
There you go. That's a good one because he's currently not playing
suspended,
right now. Yep.
Out of sight, out of mind. Yep.
Would you do it for?
Nope.
What, you know what you could do probably is like throw in, like Cam Akers throw into a deal. Throw in Kareem Hunt maybe, like stuff like this. Like get gross, man. Get gross.
Super gross. Super crusty. Try to do it like those gross pieces that you throw into. What really works in best ball? Get the tight ends. Get those tight ends. Get those Durham Smythes of the world. Like, get those dudes tossed in.
Jay Jackson throwing a $20 super chat our way. And
you got sounders. You had to queue up the sounder. That's what
I had to do it, man. I wasn't prepared. No. I had it, but I was like, damn, I didn't have it, so I had to do it. Appreciate it, Jay. Been a minute since I've been able to tune in live. Congrats on everything. I'll drink to that, buddy. Cheers. Appreciate you.
$20. Love you, buddy. Appreciate it.
Jay's our guy, man.
El Gancito in the Discord, in case you people didn't know.
By the way, go check it out, man. The catching up I'm constantly doing. You know what the worst part is? By the time I catch up, I'm like, I'll have something funny to say, but I'm like, it's 3 hours behind, and I can't even. I'm way missed it.
You're trying to start a slow clap, and it's been over for an hour.
Right. Exactly. Like,
can't do
all
it.
right. Maybe I'll get the next one, and then I miss like 20 more messages, and it's like, holy shit, this thing is awesome. But I'm just kind of watching it. I'm just I'm here with my popcorn. Appreciate you, Jay. All right, what's your guys' panic level on Deshaun Watson?
0.
Don't say 0. You can say a low number. Don't say 0.
0.
Serious?
0.5.
See what you see? This is the child that I have to work with. He's going to say 0.5 because I'm telling him he has to say a number.
You told me.
That's like when you tell your kid they can't do something and then they just like, they spite you. That's exactly what I'm doing. What is your actual panic level? You're telling me it's 0. If you're going to say 0 or 0.5, you got to at least tell us why it's that low.
Still a QB1. It's been 2 games.
I know, but Nick Chubb is out of the for the rest of the season. They're not going to have this run game that helps him either, right?
Why do we feel it's okay to do this with Deshaun Watson, but I don't see anybody out there going like, Mike, what's your panic level on Joe Burrow? Nothing. It's 2 games.
Well, because Burrow has shown more recently. I think this is the other thing we have to keep in mind. He has shown more recently high end upside. I'm not saying that Watson hasn't, but it's starting to feel a lot further away, right?
You know what Watson showed in 2 games that Joe Burrow hasn't? An ability to score fantasy points.
Yeah, but Watson's not hurt.
Come on, man. He had a calf injury like 2 months ago.
He's healthy right now.
He signed a fucking deal. He came in unprepared.
Is he healthy right now?
He's healthy-ish. Who gives a shit? He's a quarterback.
There you go. Thank you. Healthy-ish. See, this is what I like, though. I like to have the testy McNuggets, the one that wants to banter.
This is like Moneyball.
The comments
like
he's making sometimes are insane. He's healthy. He's fine.
Is he healthy? Yeah, he's healthy-ish.
He ain't fucking healthy-ish. He's fucking hurt. And I hate the Bengals. All right? Dad says 12. My level of panic. Let me answer. My level of panic is 25, 20. Like, I'm concerned, but I'm not freaking out. There's a reason to be concerned, but I'm not panicking. I think the word choice is wrong. I'm concerned. I am nowhere near panicked.
Keep trade cuts quarterback 18.
He's a buy, if that's the case. All right.
Bro, Brock Purdy's QB 14. What the fuck is going on?
Can I tell you what's going on? Go watch the video I posted earlier this week. Russell Wilson is the number 1 warp adjusted quarterback. He is a top 5 option, and he's quarterback 26.
Just barely edging out Desmond Ridder.
Sam Howell, your boy. I mean, what are we doing? I don't know what. That's why keep trade cut sometimes is stupid to even like discuss some of this stuff. Like, is that really happening in your leagues? Like, is someone saying, yeah, I'll take. You could trade
Brock Purdy straight up for Dak Prescott. That's going to happen.
Or even if you threw a second, like someone would let you do that. I don't know.
He's right behind Bryce Young. Like, if I throw Brock Purdy in a third, can I get Bryce Young?
No.
Stop it.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. What do I know? At this point, I know nothing, all right?
I
know how to pick the wrong jerseys. I can guarantee you that.
I'm just not too panicked on Deshaun Watson yet. Like,
that's fine. I think 20 to 25% concern is fair, though.
Come back and ask me next week, and I've seen 3 weeks of little to nothing. And then I'll be like, yeah.
All right, so let me just, and since you won't give me an accurate number, if you're telling me after the week 3, it's a similar thing as week 2 and week 1, does it go to high panic? Like, where does it go?
He's still going to be like a top 15, 16 quarterback option for me. Like,
okay, when you rank players, but I'm talking about like level of panic for this season scoring.
It's starting to creep up there.
Okay, there we go. There you go. All right.
I might get to your 25, right? I might give you 25 next week.
If he has 3 bad weeks in a row, we got to be past 25. Come on, damn it.
Listen, I saw Justin Fields have like 6 bad weeks in a row last year and then finish as a QB5. All right, sorry.
That's fine, but Watson isn't going to start running for 1,100 yards. All right, I like the guy.
I saw Justin Herbert have a whole bad fucking season and nobody cared.
Yeah, but there's a difference in age now. There's a difference in age now. There is.
Now his team's sitting at 0-2. Just saying.
But he's also scoring fantasy points again, right?
Okay, I'm just saying.
It's about fantasy points. He's scoring fantasy points again, even when they're losing. Watson's not doing either right now. All right.
Just saying.
12 team, start 11, 1.5 PPR. Give Jerome Ford for a 24-second or Nico Collins leading the pick. This is one of those where if Hunt comes over, like you could maybe do the second in a start 11. Nico's starting to make me wonder, like, is he worthy of consideration, or is this something we should be fading?
If it is a, like, contender second, like you kind of know, I'm going to take Nico Collins here. How about that?
Is there any consideration to stay with Jerome Ford?
No.
Okay.
Not for either of these.
I just wanted, well, the way you phrased it, I wanted to make sure that was
Yeah.
clear. Okay.
Sorry. Jerome Ford's fucking gone no matter what. I'm just saying out of the two options.
Well, if it's a contender, like I was just making sure that everyone listens, saying there's no Jerome Ford consideration here.
If it's contender second, right, where you kind of can project it to be late, I want the Nico Collins. If it's, hey, this could be mid to early, like this is some dummy who's throwing away a second, by all means, you take Jerome Ford. I'll take the second. But Nico's playing really, really well, man. Really, really well. So, like, I'm getting more and more intrigued by the minute. Like, this Nico Collins third-year breakout thing might be a thing. Remember back in the day when every wide receiver broke out in their third year? We're back. Just took 3 years. We got it.
Jay has a good question. Wasn't the first official 4D episode about Sam Howell? I'm going to leave that up there.
About.
You don't have to answer the question, by the way. It's just going to stay up there.
I declined to answer pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights.
Well, I'm gonna keep letting him hang himself before I do what I'm gonna do here. All right. 12 teams, start 11, Mike. A 1.5 PPR. Give Jerome Ford for a 24 second. So you're saying here you're taking either one of these, and you're not taking Jerome Ford. And if it's late,
correct,
you want Nico. If it has a chance to be mid to early, you want the pick, right?
Yeah.
I don't really have much. I don't differ really much here.
Though it's close, right? Like Nico is approaching that mid to early second round price tag for me pretty quickly.
I'll probably, you know what, I'm gonna stay a little more process oriented here. I think I'm gonna just take the pick because even if it's later, Mike, I think I might be able to sell it like it's not. So that's another thing to keep in mind for your league, Thad. Like, I'll say this. This is actually league dependent for me. So maybe I don't know if this is the same for you, Mike. I have leagues where I know like people are gonna start judging the name with that second before trade discussions even start.
Gotcha. Yep, they're already projecting it out there, right?
Yep, and I know some that if I come with any second at all, it's like this is a second round pick.
What do I care?
It differs a lot, man. And if you know that about your market, I'm just taking the pick in that scenario. If everyone's just like going to let me send the second for something, I'll just take the pick liquidity right now.
I get you. Yep.
All right, so now.
Goddamn, Sam Howell's going to be up here all night, ain't it?
Well, until you make another comment. Damn it, I screwed it up.
Nailed
Son
it.
of a bitch.
I just had to talk about it.
That's so disappointing. I'll get it back. 12 teams, start 9, 1 quarterback. Mike, this question's for you, it seems like. Running backs, Ramondre, Aaron Jones, Javonte, Connor, Charbonnet, Herbert, Gibson, Monty. Good process play to trade Herbert for Mostert plus second or third.
I'm not headbanging to a good rap song. I'm headbanging because it's fantastic process.
The only thing I'm going to ask about this is the plus a third is like, bro, we in 1 quarterback. Like, that third ain't meaning shit.
But there's also people out there that are 1 QB think third rounds are still worth shit. So those are the people I prey on.
I was going to default back to it's going to be a market thing for me. If I know this third is going to mean nothing and I have to draft a 4th round type player in Superflex, fuck that third. All right.
Who would you rather have right now, Khalil Herbert or Raheem Mostert? Because it's fucking Raheem Mostert for me, and it's not close. And you give me anything on top of a player that I already like, appreciate it. Thanks for the freebie.
I think, though, that is the question.
Okay.
I think to say Mostert is not really wrong if you're going to – because I'm starting to value running backs more like just 1-year windows, and I think I'm becoming more and more affirmed in my stance of Khalil Herbert just ain't that guy. So give me Mostert, I think.
I want Mostert. And I'll take any plus you give me on it. I don't care if it's second or third, 1 QB, 10 QB, doesn't matter.
So here's my let me say my last point then. If you believe that, if you just think like you value Mostert ahead and you want to take any plus, fine. The one thing I will say though is if you're going to take Mostert, not that that's a bad play, but is there a scenario where like Khalil Herbert can buy you something different in a plus?
Possibly, right?
That's the only thing I would explore
Mostert's
more.
Pretty fucking gross to everybody, but the 4 teams who are competing. Right?
Well, and that's my point with Mostert is when you make this trade, Mike. Like I would say, this isn't a trade value, a dead asset almost now. Like, what I mean is you're locked into whatever he is producing, period, for the rest of his career, possibly. Otherwise, you're going to get, like, these type of values back.
Boom.
All right. Monty
BC
in 2 seconds.
BC said Mostert by a mile. Love it.
Herbert just ain't that dude, man. Monty in 2 seconds. Sorry, Zach. Monty in 2 seconds for a first. Lineup?
It's basically asking 3 seconds for a first.
Where's the first? This is my question.
How deep are starters?
Well, to me, it's going to be, is it lineup? If it's lineup, where does the first project? If it's mid to early, I want the first. Yeah, I'll send all 3 of these pieces. But if it's a not really sure, like could be late, nah. Mm-mm.
Best ball league, I'll take the money in the 2 seconds, unless that first is,
Correct.
it's some dipshits first who never wins anything. Then no. I'm gonna ride this one out. But best ball, if I'm a competing contender and I'm going, this first is like mid to late at best. I'm not a big Monty fan, but give me Monty in the 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna go see what 2 seconds will buy me on the market. So not the worst thing. Yeah, interesting.
All right, so here, check this out.
Okay. Do we get a sounder too?
Of course.
Yes. Love the sounder.
All right. Jay says on his second super chat, in your opinion, if you swap Zach Wilson and Brock Purdy, are their careers still the same?
Oh, shit. Zach Wilson might be in the Hall of Fame already. Just after. He's got 2 Super Bowl championships already?
No, but here's the question, actually, though, like, to me, because I think, obviously, Zach Wilson's in a better situation to thrive in Frisco. The question for me, though, is, like, is Brock Purdy having any success in New York?
No. He's probably back up to Skylar Thompson in Miami at this point. Shots fired at Eric.
I'll tell you what,
What's
man.
up?
I don't know what happened to Mike. I recorded with this man all day. This guy is in his hateful bag right now.
What do you mean? God. What happened to Mike?
Mike, when I ask a question like that, it's to dramatize it for the audience. Okay, I know what happened to you. I know personally the guy's. He's drunk. All right, he's fucking drunk. Look at this guy.
I'm not. I'm feeling good. I got the red face. It's awesome.
I know. By the way, it's all good. I would say this. I think Zach Wilson is going to obviously have a better career in Frisco. The only concern I think I've had is his attitude and how that would really go. As a guy that met a 49er player and talking about how the locker room is all about Brock Purdy, I don't know that the locker room will be all about a guy that's always saying the defense needs to do more. The only thing with Zach Wilson. What do we got with T-Rock? Let me see.
Timothy might be my favorite fucking guy ever in the chat right now. Timothy.
Oh, this is
Gatorade.
This is nice. Now, Purdy up in New York, I think would be the one that I'm like, I don't know about this, man. I don't know about this. They have weapons, so I want to say that a quarterback could thrive up there. We didn't get to see Rodgers do anything, so it's like we don't really know. But it ain't Frisco. Can we just admit that it is not the ability that team has to run the football and all those weapons? It's not. So
no. I've kind of come around on Purdy. I made a Purdy trade this week, so
Mike did come around on Purdy. It was kind of weird.
A little bit. Not at QB 14, Adam. Jesus Christ. But
would you send a first for Purdy?
Would I send a first for Purdy? I would say it's probably the same as the Sam Howell question.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you're going to say it for Howell, you can't say no for him, right?
I would say the same thing for him as I did for Howell. He's a quarterback, and in best ball, yes. Listen, I had to argue our damn patrons in Savage chat about somebody getting a first-round pick for Brock Purdy in a start 9 Superflex. And they lose in their minds. You could have got more. Fuck no. You take the first and you just go with yourself. Like, here you go.
Right.
It's a start 9. He's not a difference maker. Nobody gives a shit. And for those of you who's saying, well, I just look at fantasy points. Look at the warp, man. He's like 23rd, 24th in almost any league format for quarterbacks. He's okay.
I didn't want to have to do this, but if you guys remember, there's a show, Around the Horn. And the good news is Mike has already muted himself, so
that's not nice.
We can do this anyway.
I'm back. Look at this guy. How dare you? First off,
listen.
How dare you?
Second off,
How dare you?
It is. There are some things that need to be. It's like when he comes down, it starts, in Step Brothers, the dad comes down. There are certain things which will not be tolerated. Guy's out here just throwing slanderous craziness. I love it, but some of this is just insane. He's just a quarterback. I mean, it's
best ball league. I'd send a first for him.
All right.
Lineup, no.
See, I like asking questions that Mike has to answer a certain way, but what I really like is when he says, like, I know what he's doing, and I'm still going to just answer this the way I want to anyway. All right.
Hey, look, Matt Dennis is in the house, man, from Elite Fantasy
see Matt
Nation.
Dennis. Matt, I'm going to get you on here, but we got a super chat, another one, Mike, and it's a good thing we got the sounder, man.
We're busy with these tonight. 12-team redraft PPR, start 10, swap Ford Burks for Eckler, and then swapped Eckler for Mixon D-Hop. So he started with Ford and Burks, and he moved to Eckler. Chef's kiss. Perfect.
Wait, how'd that math go? Can you give it to me? I was trying to read through it, and I'm...
So he's in a PPR start 10. He took Ford and Burks, and he changed him out for Eckler.
Mm-hmm.
Chef's kiss. Beautiful.
Right. That first part's easy.
Then he took Eckler, and he went to Mixon and D-Hop.
I don't know.
How do you feel about that second?
I don't know if that's a chef's kiss there.
Yeah, I would have stopped at the
especially in redraft, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't even know. In Dynasty, it wouldn't make it that much better either.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't matter the format. I would have stuck with Eckler.
No, actually, the only place I would say maybe the two would be a best ball league, which this obviously isn't.
Best ball would make sense. Best ball would definitely.
That's the one time I would say. And sometimes my brain kind of wants to start in best ball. And I have to tell myself, all right, no, this is lineup.
If this was like a redraft start 11 or start 12, could you do the 2-for-1? Eckler's just so damn good when he's healthy, man. Like I
don't think these two get it done, man. Nah, even in 11, maybe 12 or 13. But how many people play redraft where they're starting 13 or more? Like it's just not very that often.
I'm going to say a majority of them are like start 8 and start 9
because it's a casual. It's more of the casual thing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you. Nah. Well, I would say this though. Let's do the totality. Jerome Ford and Burks are Mixon and D-Hop. I want the Mixon and D-Hop.
Oh yeah, you still
won. And I would say this is winning 60% of the deals, but the deal 2 stinks. Sorry.
Hey, didn't Corey Schumer throw in a super chat here too?
Dude, look at me out here. I wasn't actually. I was waiting for Mike to do that because Mike, you got rid of him as the valedictorian. I thought we weren't putting his super chats up here.
Well, maybe. We put all super chats up.
I'm just playing, Corey. You know I love you. Mike, we making a trip to Philly for a Christmas gift 12-25 game of watching Daniel Jones getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, let me figure out a way to write that off for a business expense.
Well, Mike, actually, Corey let me know he's going to be coming to Cleveland the week they're playing Jacksonville. I think it's the week prior to this. So him and the Xbox are talking about going to the game. If that's the case, I might ride up there with him if you want to really make a road trip.
There you go. Might have to. We'll have to see. I got a new job, so we got to figure out to.
Well, especially with this new job and the fact that Mike has zero concern on Watson. I mean, they're going to be rolling by the time they play Jacksonville this late in the year.
Don't you put that on me. It's not my fault if they're not.
Mike, I'm telling you right now, if you have zero concern for him, I'm excited for the Browns, man.
Damn it.
See this? That's why they call it 4D chess, man. You don't just let the first couple of moves dictate the entire round, all right?
You sandbagging son of a bitch.
Holy shit, we got another super chat. Who should I stash? Jalen Warren, Tajay Spears, Brandon Cooks, or Elijah Moore? I'll be honest, the stash part, like the way the question's phrased is it's Tajay or Jalen Warren because the stash means like if something happens. Nothing's going to happen for Brandon Cooks to all of a sudden value jump like crazy. Or Elijah Moore either. It's
got to be a super shallow Dynasty League or super shallow redraft league for like these to be your stash options. And I think I'm going to go with Tajay. Like if it's this shallow, like it's going to be the running back almost. Assuredly over those wide receivers.
I'm with you. I was going to say Tajay or Jalen Warren. I personally would prefer Tajay, but like here's the thing though with either one of them, if the guy in front of them goes down, so if Derrick Henry goes down or Najee Harris goes down, I know the offense isn't great in either one really, but that's the guy I want.
Usage,
if I'm being honest,
right?
it's the guy that has the opportunity, and that would be the case for either one of those guys.
I'm with you. Jalen Warren would be the number 2 in this situation, even though I'm like the biggest shitter on Jalen Warren, it seems. Poor Fizzle. How you feeling if you're a Najee Harris truther? Same way you are if you're a Jalen Warren truther.
What a bad time for that. We're gonna redo that. All right, you're not gonna put that on the screen.
My bad.
And then
sorry.
I would love for someone to clip that with like the money sound of the cash register with like Najee Harris in there. All right, let's try this again, Matt. We really appreciate the super chat, but there it is.
Justin
Love you,
Fields.
dudes.
I just throw all the names in there just for
See,
you.
the nice part is that was just late enough to where I could clip your ass out. All right, love you, dudes. South Harmon Institute of Technology, Warp Tool. If you all don't know, time to tap into that. Matt, good plug.
Appreciate you, Matt.
Good call. The South Harmon, southharmonff.com/warp. The thing is, we haven't been promoting as much of the Warp Tool data because it's so hard to have enough of the sample size right now. But believe me, another week or two of this, and you're gonna get a lot more Warp discussion. I actually wanted to talk about Russell Wilson, but when I recorded that video, it wasn't there yet. It's just there's 2 weeks of data. It's just a small sample size right now. But when we get 3, 4, and beyond, like the Warp Tool is going to become a huge thing.
What did we talk about? So 40 Chess will come out on Friday.
Yep.
Had him. We recorded it live. The patrons were in there. So if you're a Patreon, just so you know, if you're a Patreon, I send the link out so you have a chance to watch 40 live while we record it, right? But we were talking a little bit about A-Warp. And isn't it so crazy? Only on 2 weeks of data, we got guys who didn't do shit in week 1 or didn't play in week 1 or week 2. And like they're still ranking, near the top half of their position, in the top 15, the top 10. And you're going, okay, 2 weeks of data on A-Warp, probably not enough to make a whole lot of like wholesale changes to your dynasty rosters or your redraft rosters. But we get 3-4 weeks in. Definitely we'll get some trends here.
Matt, we appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the love. Actually, make sure, you know what? Let me shout out to him. Make sure you go check out his podcast. We had Fizzle on that podcast.
Sure did. Elite Fantasy Nation. Let's go.
Elite Fantasy Nation. I was actually going to ask Matt if you could go ahead and live comments for other people if you just want to put either a link or, just the name so that people can go take a look at that, man. Slashy. Guys, stop making fun of my Jets. I'm already sad enough. Well...
Zach Wilson's taking you to the promised land. Let's go.
I like I love this avatar, by the way. Let me just say that. And I'll be honest with you, Slashy. Like, I'm going to give you back the same energy as your avatar has. Like, listen, I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. Don't anybody tell me, like, hey, I haven't experienced enough sadness. All right? Y'all can get bent if we want to go down that road. I love you, Slashy, just playing. But I've never experienced happiness as a fan of the Browns, okay? Ever.
You don't reminisce about the Bernie Kosar days?
I do. I had to get, Mike, you told me all these people I can get a jersey and get it framed. I had to go to a quarterback that played before I was born and when I couldn't remember watching football, all right?
You didn't get a Derek Anderson signed jersey?
Don't put that fucking evil. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky. Don't you put that evil on us.
Josh McCown before he was good?
Jeff Garcia, Charlie Fry. You want me to do this here? No. Leave me alone.
Jeff Garcia after he was good.
Leave me alone, you son of a bitch. This guy's got 2 Super Bowls, and they couldn't figure out during the time they paid a quarterback they no longer have and sucks, and he still has a good team. Get out of here.
Jason Campbell after he was good.
How about Cody Kessler? Trust me on this one.
Ooh, that was a good one. Cody Kessler. You're digging deep in your bag there.
Well, I quote from a coach that convinced a organization to bring him back after 2 seasons of 1 win, and that's 2 seasons of 1 win. Mike,
oh no,
trust me on this one. All
trust
right,
me.
Trust you on what, man?
Source, trust me, bro. Love it.
I can't even figure out. Oh, here we go. Browns and Jets fans got to stick together. We are the same. That's fair. I'll give you that.
I had to deal with Bobby Joe Hoying. All right, so all's fair. Okay, Bobby Joe Hoying.
Damn, Jay, what did I say?
He's just like, I'm out. This is what Jay does.
Sorry, Jay. We appreciate super chats and we love you, buddy.
He drops those like one-liners, those funny gifs in Discord, and then he just pieces out.
I love Jay, by the way. I love his humor too. Just take one of your 5 days a week golfing and make the trip at Corey Schumer. That's fair. Hey, let's do it. Oh no.
Corey's
you know
always
what?
out here golfing.
Timothy's out here really doing well for himself tonight. The drive. Matt wants to know what you're drinking. Last I saw was an empty cup. Do you have a refill?
No, I didn't. I only brought one full one down in my South Harmon bourbon glass.
Well, we got time. Go ahead.
Filled it up with Absolute Citron. So that's what I was rocking there.
Good for you, man. That reminds me of college, Absolute Citron. I used to be nothing but vodka back in college, man. It's all I used to drink.
That's top shelf shit too. Before T-Rock gets in here and like makes fun of me for the UV blue that's on the bottom shelf. So
well, it's not bottom shelf. All right, we'll get you top shelf. I'm just telling you it's not bottom shelf. I'll give you that.
I found it on the top shelf of an Illinois gas station. What do you want from me? I'm fancy.
Well, at an Illinois gas station, it probably is top shelf.
Listen, all the fancy shit though was behind the cash register when I checked.
Oh, that's true. You got to go ask them back there. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the Buffalo Trace. I saw all your shit back there, buddy.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Yeah.
We got Buffalo Trace out the ass here, by the way, boys.
T-Rock, I do. He stole Tua from the team before I got to take it over. Sad face. That sucks.
Listen, I'm trying to trade Fizzle back his first round pick in that league. He's just not playing ball.
Well, Fizzle, I would say this, you're a smart character because when Mike's trying to trade you back your first,
whoa.
Now hold on.
I gave Cooper back his first.
I haven't even said anything.
Okay, go ahead.
Just understand.
Shut up.
Just understand that unless you're Koopa, because this was going to be a dig at Koopa until you decided to take my thunder, people feel like they're being bent over, all right? And Koopa was like, I like this,
You don't do that to Koopa. Don't do that to Koopa.
Koopa said I was going to give you more than that. That's the first time in the history of my life that Mike sent a first offer for the first of the one that he owns from you, and the person's like, I would have sent you back more. Listen, that's crazy.
If you're going to say this too, at least dress us by our proper names, right? I'm Harvey Specter. That's Mike Ross. Okay? You don't talk about my associate like that. How dare you, Lewis?
If you think I'm Lewis Litz,
go back to your mudding.
I will say there's one point. I don't know if you've gotten to this point. I don't want to spoil it for you. How far are you along in Suits?
About midway through season 6 at this point.
So you might have seen this then. When Lewis, by the way, it's impossible to like Lewis Litt, all right? But if you're going to force me to be Lewis Litt, this is going to be like when we had to drive. This is going to be like when you, right, if you're Harvey, make us get in the car and we're going to drive together. And guess what's going to happen? Koopa, I'm taking your ass out of this car and I'm fucking beating your ass real quick. And then Harvey's going to have to come save you. That's the only part I got that Lewis Litt had.
I'll fuck him up, Mike Ross. Don't worry about it. I got you. It's hard to like Lewis. I get it. And you go with like episodes.
It's impossible.
Well, you go like some episodes, you're like, all right, I kind of like Lewis. And then he does something fucking terrible. And you hate Lewis again. It's kind of like Zach.
Where is Zach, by the way? Sheesh. Mike says I'm taking shots at people. And he throws Zach just a clean right hook out of nowhere.
I'm changing his fucking name right now. Now in Discord. Done.
All right. Do we have any questions? I'm actually kind of having a blast here. I'll keep. We could just keep being off the rails, but we got 70 people in here. Oh, we do have one.
Change
John.
Nickname.
12 team. Actually, I don't know if it's Lewis or Lo. I want to say it's Louis.
Lo feels like Lois.
But I've seen it both ways. Lewis Litt. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh, Louis.
It is. I told you.
You nailed it, man. You're a savant.
But he's also to me, you have to spell a guy that if you create that type of a character, he has to be spelled like Louis. Like,
I get you.
Let's make his name look a little weirder. Let's call it that.
Yeah. It's probably because Zach is wavering on his Justin Field love. Like, I thought we were close. I thought we had something special, Zach, and you ruined it. Just like Lewis Litt ruins everything. So it's what it is.
All right.
You'll never be named partner. You're never going to be named partner at South Harbor this
It's supposed to be my name on that door.
Better go work for the Zanes. Fuck out of here.
12-team Superflex start 10. Tight end premium. Trade Nico for Deontay and Kamara.
Both of them? Fuck yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
John, this is insane. I would trade Nico. I'm probably going to trade Nico for Deontay straight up.
Now you're getting a little bit like 50-50. You add in Alvin Kamara.
Well, I'm saying that right there, I would take Deontay, but it's close, right?
I get you.
I'm not saying you have to do it, but when you throw Kamara into the mix for free, like I'll take the guys that are currently not playing for another week or two for the case of Kamara, and like Deontay will be back in week 7, and then all of a sudden this is a smash trade.
I thought I was being a little bit hot takey when I said that Nico's like approaching that like early second, maybe possibly territory where it's a conversation. Holy Santa Claus shit.
Well, see, here's the thing though, because we have a question here. Let me get a super chat on the screen. Matt Dennis is out here throwing it again. See,
listen, you answer the question. I'm running to get the bottle.
You got to do so. If it's $20, yeah,
I can't say no to $20.
Listen, Mike. If you know anything about Mike, when money's involved, he'll do anything. All right. So I was going to get to. Let's get to. I'm going to start a couple questions here, Matt. We appreciate the super chat. And by the way, I guess I'm supposed to pour up for this too, Matt, since you're out here making us drink. This is kind of starting to remind me of the draft 2022 when I wake up like feeling like shite. This is cheers. Cheers, Matt. Woo. This is by the way, if you want to know what I'm drinking tonight, 100 proof, 50% alcohol.
Look how
4
fast
roses. I poured way more than a shot there.
We're good.
All right.
I ran out of Absolute, so we're back on this Vodka, boys.
I'm calling BS. I think this is Vodka the whole time. He was trying to, talk it up, and I'm kidding,
Shit.
buddy.
I didn't know I needed to grab the empty bottle while I was up there.
Well, are you going to be pissing on the floor tonight? Someone was asking.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm on vacation, so I don't got to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to work or whatever the fuck it is. So we're good.
All right, so there's a couple questions I want to get to here. Sean says 12-team Superflex start 10 PPR. He sold Kyron for a mid-second and Jaden Reed.
Ooh. Take that. I love Kyron. I'm in on Kyron, but this is easy. I'll take the second and Jaden.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, I think the only problem for me about this, by the way, the value's easily on the second and Reed side, right? The only thing in start 10, Mike, is like Jaden Reed to me there. The problem, like I have him in a couple lineup start 10s, and I'm like I like it, but I know this is a guy I want to move. Like I know this is a guy I'm not probably going to want to start. Now, you still have that asset you can move in this trade, which is why I still will take that. But if you told me like I'm locked into these two assets, the second can go by you like something nice probably, but my point here is that the value play is to take these guys and then figure out how to rework the assets later. But I think Jaden Reed's going to end up being a guy I don't really feel comfortable starting in start 10.
So let me just say this too. You know how much I love like process over players and that whole thing. But if you guys haven't listened to the South Harmon Spotlight, which is a plug for going to the South Harmon podcast feed, but every Monday night, I come out with it. Back-to-back weeks, I've had Cody Carpentier and Matty Kewen from the executives. And the first time, Cody's telling me about his love at the end of Zay Flowers. Now, throughout the whole show, we usually just talk about them and their journey through the fantasy space. We want to get to know them, put a spotlight. But at the end, we shoot the shit, talk about players. Cody's out here telling me about his love for Zay Flowers and how big it is. And I go, you know what? You convinced me. I kind of love Zay Flowers. Like, I'm really in on Zay Flowers. This last week, what is Maddie doing? Talking about his love for Jaden Reed. And Cody also shares that love. And I think Maddie threw out that at one point he said Cody kind of reminded him of a young Stephon Diggs. So I'm just going to throw that out there. And I'm just going to leave that sit and marinate, and you can do with it what you want. So Kyron or a mid-second and a young Stephon Diggs. You know where I am.
Well, Mike, as I'll be the bigger man, I guess they kind of like to say, right? Which is hard to do. But I'll say, I like Maddie, I like Cody, but I'm going to take it as what you told me from you, and I've seen a lot of your takes. So I'm going to need to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Go listen to the damn podcast.
I'm fucking with you. I heard the podcast, for God's sakes. By the way, reminds me, check this out. Speaking of plugging stuff, yeah. Listen, the bomber jackets are in. I have a second one. here that I'm going to give away. That's an XL. So for the XL that I already had here that they sent by, I believe, accident, and that's fine. That one's going to be given away in the Discord. If you're a patron, make sure you check out the Discord later tonight. I'm going to give one away there. If you're not a patron and you're interested in that, go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/South Harmon. But I'm going to also be giving one away, Mike, on our next dropping of the NFL Sunday recap. So nice. I wanted to, sport this, let you kind of see how it looks. It's way too hot to wear this for the whole show, but they're pretty sweet, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty happy.
I can set the giveaway up with entries, too, and then one of it being watching the Sunday
check this out, man.
Show.
Look at that shithead,
It's fancy.
It's a nice piece of shit. That's a nice piece of shit, isn't it?
Listen, and I'm just glad we're getting to the season where, you can actually wear that.
Well, right now I can't. It's so hot, bro. It's too hot. I got these lights on me. It's fucking, I'll be sweating wearing this.
I'm pretty sure down here with all these fucking lights, this neon, which is dope as shit, by the way, but it makes this room hot as fuck. It'll be like December. I'll be down here with a window open. It's hot down here. And Matt Dennis has got me out here getting drunk on air. How dare you? How dare you, Matt?
Matt, don't listen to him. Do it again. I'll take another shot, buddy. Yeah, I'm in. Fizzle says fire. Damn it. See, I'm out here screwing this up. This is not supposed to go up here at all.
It's your fault.
It is.
It's all your fault.
And by the way, I took credit for the fault. All right, let's get to this one. Thad says, hold on. 12-team start 11 lineup, 1.5. I'm assuming that's 1.5 tight end premium, or is it 1.5 second and Elijah Moore?
I'm assuming it's like 1.5 tight end premium.
Second and Elijah Moore for Puka is easy money, right? Yes.
Yeah, I'll take Puka in that situation.
Probably by a country mile for me. Start 11 is probably one of the formats where I consider like Elijah Moore someone I could start, but I don't love it.
Best ball, would you do it the other way though? I mean, I know Puka's
that's where it's tough. That's where it's tough. I think I'm not going to say I have to, but that's where like the 2-for-1 starts making me think a lot, right? I'm not going to say I need to take it, but it's
not so much for the Elijah Moore thing. But you look at that second, you're like, what else? Like, what other kind of wide receivers? Can I get a Mike Evans? Can I get a Keenan Allen? Can I get a D-Hop? Can I get a?
I would say in best ball, Mike, what that would do is make me say, all right, I'm going to counter because this is pretty good, or pull an ATM, like because I don't even know if I pull the ATM, but like I'm going to say, can you give me something else, and then we'll make a deal. Because it's close enough, but I think I might still want the Puka.
Lineup start 11, though, Thad.
Definitely
Puka.
By the way, Jacob, I would say this. We'll answer this real quick again, but go back and watch the beginning of the show where we talked about this at length. Are we selling Puka? Personally, I think we kind of have to sell at this point. Jacob, I think at this point, you got to really have a discussion like with yourself, and that is, like, are you willing, at this point, are you going to kind of put Puka into a comparative lens to the rest of any type of like summary for any player we have, which isn't what he is. Like, to box him into anything for me is not the case, because he has blown away every wide receiver in the NFL this year in targets already, and no one's even come close to this target pace and doing well in 2 games. So like, any process you have of wanting to sell, feel like we have to sell at this point. I had to do some soul searching on this, Mike, because I'm just basically like, man, this seems crazy. What are we doing? But then the more I look and dig, I'm like, man, this guy's an enigma. There's no one that's ever done this. So
that's fair.
Mike is more on the process play of selling with you, Jacob, at this point. And I'm not going to say that's wrong. I think what you need to do is really assess, are you comfortable selling him in the process play and like grouping him into the whatever, group of people that you want to have in your process? Or are you at the point where you're saying, listen, I probably got him as a 4th or a 3rd round pick or free, and instead of cashing out on this parlay, I think there's a lot more to be had if I win the bet. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Simple for me, Jacob. Process play, I'm selling for first pretty easily. But also, too, just a caveat, found money's free money. So, you didn't spend shit on them to begin with. So if you want to ride it out for the rest of your life, by all means, go for it too. Nothing wrong with either choice. Pow. They're back, baby.
You know what? Now I know what's about to happen. Can I tell you what's going to happen?
Fucking party.
The Puka blow up is real.
Yeah, I saw Matt Dennis put another $20 super chat in because he's a fucking animal.
Oh,
Matt,
my
you're ridiculous.
gosh. All right, by the way, Corey, I just put Corey's comment up and assumed that I already got into Matt's super chat. I'm actually not drunk.
We should actually spend Matt Dennis's super chat money on getting him a doorknob that's attached on his room at the expo. Right?
Well, I was going to say that's you know what? Also, Mike, let's see at this point if I can get a little extra here. I got another one.
Extra?
I got another one here for us. Get a couple of them going. You know. Byfields. He is done listening to the coaches. Watch Sunday versus KC. Remember last year Fields going to be Fields. Stop thinking, just do. I did see that interview.
The only thing I didn't like, he did blame the coaches. And
well, I was going to say, you know what's interesting is he already has
Yikes.
kind of lightly thrown them under the bus in the first 2 weeks at the podium. This was the first time where he really leaned into
really
and actually said it.
Yeah.
I will say this though. True.
The rest of it I agreed with.
Well, I don't even necessarily disagree with that. I think he's not wrong. I think the coaches are not putting him in a spot to succeed. However, that's not a good look, period, for any player, let alone a quarterback. Even if he's 100% right. Throwing your coaches under the bus, it's not going to be a good look for you, man. And if it doesn't work out in Chicago and they decide to go in a different direction, now you're going to the market of who's going to buy you, who's going to trade for you, which someone will. Don't get it twisted. Fields is going to be a starter next year somewhere else, but that's going to go be in the back of people's minds. Hey, he's not, just on board with everything here. So I don't know. I didn't like it. I liked the sentiment. I liked the idea of him saying, I'm going to take over, but I didn't like the throwing the coaches under the bus. I'm with you.
I'm with you. I like the first part. He was being honest about it. I'm too robotic, I think I'm thinking too much.
I actually love that. I love that in him. He kind of owned it. That's why it made it confusing that he threw the coaches under the bus, because you already owned it now, right?
I need to go out there and let it rip. Fuck yeah, this is exactly what
when
I
see
hear.
Something that's not there, I need to just basically take off and run.
I love it. And then he threw his coaches under the bus. And Adam, I'm of the school, if you're going to throw your coaches under the bus, don't do it fucking casually. You come out and you be like, if fucking Getsy could call me an offensive play and get some spacing with these wide receivers,
well, if
we would dominate. Just lean into it if you're going to fucking do it. Don't have.
But that's where it's not, because if you're going to do it, Mike, I think it should be to the point where after week 2. And you have enough of a sample size to be like, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to throw them under the bus.
Throw their ass under the bus.
Even then, I don't really think you should. But
week 2, throw them under the bus. But if you're going to do it, lean into it. This offense coordinator is fucking dog shit. What are we doing? We're running a high school offense out here.
Dr. Ryan Cecil. 10-team Superflex Dynasty. Someone wants DeVonta Smith and London for CD.
Ryan Cecil.
What do I need in addition to CD to make it worth it?
10-team, how many starters? How many starters?
That's a great question. I'm going to ask the same thing, because in 10-team, it kind of sucks it sucks the amount of player pool into less teams, right? So there's more necessity to have the studs.
Unless we're starting 12, 13, I think I want the CD Lamb side here. I'm pretty good with the stud side.
PPR. Well, PPR we get that, but if you could, how many starters you play, Dr. Ryan Cecil? I think that's the big thing for me. I would say
Start 10. Start 10.
I'll take CD here. I'll take CD.
I know it sounds expensive. It does, but I'll take CD here.
Now, I will say this as
right now.
as the ATM, right? I will say though that your question still stands, because if this is out there, if this is your offer, we always pull the ATM, Mike. Because 60% of the time it works. Every
what are you
time.
asking extra? Second.
This is the question. I think 3 wide receiver, 2 flex. Can you drop me some of the players on his team? You don't have to do all of them, but guys that you think he might go for, because that will matter to me. I don't really even probably want to target most of those players, but just throw them in there in case there's somebody, because in 10-team, what we have to also understand is
do it, Dr. Ryan. You dropped a $5 super chat. List them out.
Them seconds don't really get me all that excited, man, in 10-team. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. To you and I, they don't get us excited because we know exactly what they're actually probably worth, right? Not a fucking starter. Mm-hmm. But I'm just telling you, there's people out there that
to package it later, you're thinking?
Yeah. There's people out there that they just see the second and they go, oh, yeah, I don't give a shit. It's a 10-team start 10. I want that second. I want 10 of them. I want all 10. So
I'll be honest, we're up to 80 people in the chat today, and I love it, by the way, but at this point, I do feel like we're just rambling and Mike's wearing glasses, and I love the fact that we're getting more viewers. It doesn't like
the glasses.
The math ain't mathin', but I'm here for it. You know,
it's mathing perfectly.
Math is hard.
Listen, I make these glasses look good, right? These clear ass shades, clear frames. Let's go.
Ryan, I'll wait if you drop them in there. I'll still finish answering. I would say this. It's going to need, like, if you can get back a second, if you can extract something else, you might as well try to do it. I would love to see if you could find a sneaky running back value, right? Like, something like that. But I would do the trade straight up. So what I'm trying to do here is give you an idea of what you could get back to make it more worth the juice a little more worth your squeeze, you know?
I wish we had a 10-team. What do we do? 10-team start 9?
What's this
That's close
for?
enough.
Mind warp?
I'm just looking at the A warp difference between CD and DeVonta Smith through the first 2 weeks.
Well, because here, can I tell you why this is such a big trade in 10-team? Because I did the Mind Warp series with Scott, and I remember specifically the one you're talking about, Mike. In this format, the 10-team, Mike, actually CD Lamb becomes more of a quarterback in Superflex. The 10-team forces these high-end receivers to be the gods of the league, which is why I'll take CD.
Here's the only problem I have. Currently in A warp, DeVonta Smith is 5. CD Lamb is 7.
Yeah, but it's not enough of a sample size yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, the one thing I will say, though, is the problem with this trade and why I do think you are definitely it's worth your while to ask for something back is DeVonta Smith could offer 90% of what CD Lamb's production actually is. And that is a little bit concerning to give up a guy like Drake London for free.
I will say, though, on the warp graph, just for this A warp graph for this exact scenario, it's kind of like those quarterback graphs we looked at all fucking off season once we got warp, right? Where you got 1, 2, 3, 4, drop.
Go look at. Did you pull up 22s?
I can.
Pull up 22s because you'll see what I'm talking about with CD Lamb.
Ooh, I like this. This is good. This is good talk here.
I know that now. I know Mike's drunk because this is 10-team talk, and Mike hates 10-team.
Oh man, like these top
yeah, man, it's all about those elite receivers, you know.
6 wide receivers and then there's a pretty big drop between that range and 8 to 12.
You want to share your screen?
We can.
Go ahead.
Warp share. Not a porn site. We're good.
Are you sure?
I think so.
All right, let's see if I can get this up there.
We'll figure this out. This is live. Look at that.
We got it.
Look at that.
Go ahead, Mike. Tell him.
So here's all your 1, 2, and 3.
Show them versus the other positions too.
Ooh, running backs.
Okay, running backs actually have good warp in this league.
Not too bad. Need those studs.
But look at the quarterbacks. Wide receiver, elite receivers are just as valuable as anyone in this league, right? And that's why CD Lamb for me is the answer.
How about that? We'll take those. Yep.
Right.
Yep, I'm with
you. That's why to me, because it's the asset to have, right? If CD Lamb is wide receiver 2 or 3, he's the asset to have.
And Travis Kelce. I always like throwing that caveat.
Well, of course, of course.
Just different. That's how it looks together. Love it. Yeah, I think I would do this.
I'm with you. Now, I think though, I don't see it here. I'm looking for a running back, sneaky running back value you might be able to play in a 10-team league, or just ask for liquid draft capital. Because chances are these little pluses you're going to get back are irrelevant, especially at receivers. I would not try to get it back in that regard. I'd try to get it back in a running back or a pick or multiple picks, whatever.
I love it, man. It's good stuff. That was a good super chat. Thank you, Ryan.
For sure,
Dr. Ryan. I don't want to throw out if you were in that fucking doctor, if you're an actual doctor, I don't want to make sure that calling you Dr. Ryan. You're in that shit.
12-team Superflex start.
I earned the title idiot, and I make sure that people call me Mr. Idiot.
I love this. 12-team Superflex start 10, full PPR. He sold Rondale Moore and David Montgomery for a 24 first. What?
D just out here flexing. Sean W. Let's go. I'm beating the shit out of my mic. Let's go.
That's ridiculous stuff, man. Are you kidding?
Bravo.
That's ridiculous, bro.
What does Dynasty Trades in 5 do? You got a super chat to flex like that. No, I'm just kidding. You do whatever you want, but that's fucking nuts.
That's ridiculous, man.
Start
can I
10,
do this?
Start 10. He sold David Montgomery for a 24 first. I'm not considering Rondale Moore to start 10.
Thank you.
Pass.
I remember in a trade show getting yelled at, getting scolded by Mike for saying the same thing.
Was not in a start 10. I can guarantee. If you can pull that up and me arguing for Rondale in a start 10.
I said roster clogger in this format in a start 10, and you had a conniption.
No,
just
you
admit
did
it. Oh, Fizzle,
Fighting it.
Fizzle, Christian. I need someone not only to find it but clip this because this needs to happen, and we can put this here, and we can be like, yeah, he was drinking.
Find it. Find it.
Listen, it ain't hard. I mean, we do a lot of content, but it's not like I have to watch, thousands of videos. We could find it, all right? It's in the last, 20. Goodness gracious.
Find it.
I'll find it. I will find you. Who's your biggest surprise through week 2, good or bad? I mean, Puka.
Outside of Puka?
It's not it's not close. It's Puka.
Come on, you can't answer.
I would say, you know what? Who you can make a couple cases for guys here. Kyron.
Ooh. This is going to be Homer on multiple fronts because I like the player and it's on my team.
Oh, no.
But did you ever see DeAndre Swift getting 28 fucking carries for 178 yards in a game ever in his career with the way it...
Yes, just not as much recently. There was a time, Mike, where I valued him as a first-round startup pick, okay? And it wasn't but a year ago, all right? Let's
just not in the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's...
Okay.
Yes.
Right,
we've seen him have great games now, not to that degree. But
if you
were to tell me though, honestly, the talent of him, but that's not surprising to me. The talent of DeAndre Swift, Mike. If you told me he's going to get that many touches in a Philly offense, I do feel like I'm almost a little you want to talk about a backhanded compliment. Like how disrespectful have we gotten to the talent of DeAndre Swift?
That's fair. He's extremely talented.
He's had a hard time staying on the field, but he's never had a talent issue. Let's at least get that put into the same.
We've let injury history and usage bleed over into our
perception of him as a talent. Correct. I 100% agree. That's
because there was one time, and this is a way back throwback to a DFB encounter. Drew, right, Mr. Drew, comparing him a lot to one Christian McCaffrey. You remember those days?
Yeah.
I remember that video vividly. I remember you showing it to me and me just being over the moon. Listen, I may be drinking, but
no, T-Rock out here just holy crap! Holy shit is right. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm putting it up here. I'll rock with it, man. It's okay.
I love you, T-Rock. That was savage, but we're looking for new writers at South Harmon FF.
Yeah, there's a brand new article segment that just became available. The crazy part, Mike, can I tell you? These are really really good headphones, and I just got absolutely clowned for them. I did want some. I went for comfort, and I'm Circuit City.
Oh no!
Wait, how long has Circuit City been out of business?
Ooh, a hot minute.
Is it 15 years ago?
I think it might be. Right. The other one I'll throw in there, and Koopa's going to love this one. Hey, Warp God, TJ Hawkinson. Listen, because there was that whole conversation about how he finished the year.
Okay.
And there's no way he's going to continue it. They drafted Jordan Addison, right? He's kind of going to go back to being just TJ Hawkinson old, and you come out the first 2 weeks, and it's like, man, it doesn't fucking matter. They drafted Jordan Addison. TJ Hawkinson's still putting up monster points. So, shout out TJ.
I see. I do see why this happened. He said, Adam, are those new headphones? Yes. I can't buy those headphones that close.
Matt Dennis teed him up.
All right, I get it now. All right. But I would say, man, to me, it's Kyron would be the second answer. It's obviously Puka.
For sure.
It's undoubtedly Puka as a whole. Name me a player that we expected less from that's doing anything. Is there any?
Nico Collins.
Well, I mean, but even Nico Collins was going ahead of Puka in startups. Okay, I'm talking get dumpster-ish where Puka was going. You picked him up for 0 fab in multiple leagues.
The only person I knew who was so in on Puka that was almost made me want to vomit was Derek Brown.
I was going to say D-Bro. And he's
D-Bro.
I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you saw what they clipped. D-Bro's just out here shoving Puka Nacua down my throat. That was...
Even I, right? We came out with rookie... everybody does rookie rankings, right? And I love D-Bro to death, man. But when I saw his rookie rankings, he had Puka Nacua at number 5. And I'm like, bro. D-Bro, we got to have a talk. And here he is making me look like a fucking asshole. So the only guy that I really knew that was shoving this shit like permanently, that knew it was coming, Derek Brown. So props to him. Nailed it.
I need to stop doing this. And
Listen, he can miss every other take for the rest of his fucking life. He hits Puka Nacua as a perennial top 5 dynasty wide receiver. Done.
No one will remember the shoddy bees or the other, takes.
No one gives a
bad.
shit about the rest of it.
Right.
Puka Nacua forever.
You know what that's kind of like? It's kind of like, like Mike would be if he was single and he just like an hour after, we're still doing the AMA an hour from now. He's just completely toast. At the end of this, he just goes and starts shooting his shot in DMs, right? Like all you have to do is hit one. You don't have to hit them all, right? It's just you need to hit one. And
Come on,
if
man.
you hit one that strong, like if you were out here, Mike, in the DMs later tonight, right, and you hit one that strong and it was like you landed a model, like that would be all you needed, right? All the other ones are worthless.
I mean, did you see the hot news today? I mean, Jason Kelce confirming that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are dating.
Yeah, I
mean,
seen it.
Come on, man.
But you thought I was shocked by this? Like, I kind of figured that eventually he would get her to, give him a shot. Like he's for as high up as an athlete as he is, and the clout he was getting with the podcast and this, like, it was only a matter of time. He's out there putting himself out there. Like, there's not many people in that stratosphere putting themselves out there at all. Right? Like that's.
I know Meghan Markle ain't single, but after watching Suits, I'm just saying, like.
I can't find these comments about T-Rock making fun of your glasses. I was looking for them, but I do think the fact that, Suits has been out since I was like freshly out of college, and the fact that Mike just found this and like is hyping it as much as he is on AMA, it makes me feel like, yes, I do feel like we are old and we are just showing it. And Meghan Markle, she's fire, but goodness, I discovered her like, before we even had,
I had no fucking idea.
Before I even had a smartphone.
I watched Suits and I listened to ISIS by Lucas Joyner just on repeat. I think like I'm hot and fresh. Look at me go.
Here we go.
I'm hip with the times, boys.
Kindly and respectfully keep my name out your fucking mouth. That's not bad.
Listen, Zach, I've done video team reviews, roster reviews with you. Like, I like my chances.
Well, I will say, Zach, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth was the quote. But I love what you did there. And if you come up and you smack me that hard, just know I'll be smacking back. All right?
You better make it a good one. All right?
Like, I better be knocked out.
I know I'm a fat fuck on camera, but I'm even fatter and bigger in person. I move well for my size.
Corey makes a great point here. The exact same feel as him thinking songs are new when they are actually 9 years old. That's
fuck you, Corey.
Corey,
right.
You know what? This is why, even though Mike made you valedictorian and then took it away, I kind of solidified it. I put my vote in late. All right, let me get a couple questions because I'm having a blast. Frankly, this is the best time I've had on AMA in a while. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the overlay, if it's just the energy.
It set the mood from the jump.
I think Mike also getting a new job is not hurting our cases of him, getting him this drunk. I tell you, if he's going to that other job right now, we ain't getting him this glasses and he's this drinking right now.
No, none of that. None of the above.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't think my head is in the gutter, but I just feel like it must have went there because I just read this as 14-team contract league, half PPR, start 7, swallow one quarterback, but it's shallow. So I apologize. I read it that way in my head, and I just felt like I should tell the group.
All about the Happy Meals.
Boy, he's going to get me canceled one of these days. 1 QB league, start 1, running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. Trade it on high-cost contract for Gibbs on a cheap rookie contract. Oh, trade JT. JT, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
Even if you don't throw in the whole contract league, which adds another dynamic, right? But let's just say a normal dynasty league. I don't give a fuck what the format is. JT for Gibbs straight up. Which side do you want? Long term.
Gibbs.
Okay. Done. Move on. This is easy then. Thad, you killed this one.
Yeah, go. I'll
High
take
contract
Gibbs.
costs. You get Gibbs on a cheap contract. 1-for-1 in a normal dynasty league without contracts involved. I'm taking Gibbs. Period.
I mean, first of all, let's just acknowledge this. In 1 quarterback league, start 7, how many players go ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs?
Whew. Ooh.
It's a small list. We don't have to have you name them all out. But my
Jefferson,
point is
Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Christian McCaffrey, maybe.
There's probably 8 receivers, right? And
Bijan, of course.
Bijan, McCaffrey, but it's a small list. There's not 15 of them.
Might get Garrett Wilson and a couple of the wide receivers, and then it's Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah, easily.
Appreciate that, Thad. Appreciate that. All right. T-Rock with finally a good comment. Overlay is dope, but
look at Zach trying to get us back. I threatened to beat his ass. He's out here gifting memberships.
Oh, okay. Zach, listen, man. This is truly...
All right, I'll change your fucking name back. You don't got to be Lewis Lit.
Well done, buddy. Well done.
Though Lewis Lit is a pretty fucking dope name for a Discord. Just saying.
I was gonna say, why are you? Don't take that away now. Honestly, I feel like you need to leave it just for the. That's how we show people our affection in South Harmon. Okay, is we dunk on them. All right, if we feel comfortable enough around you to call you Lewis Lit and change your name in that, you should feel a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. All right, even though we did shit on you, it's a good thing.
Well, what about Xbox? Because today I changed his name to.
Well, you changed it twice.
I did.
You changed it about to get. Oh yeah, I absolutely saw it. What was the first one?
The first one was about to get kicked off our website.
And then you put the second one as
invented the rusty trombone.
Invented the rusty trombone. Yeah, there we go. Jeez.
You know where that started.
What is, Matt? This is very scarily reminiscent of the draft stream. Goodness gracious, man.
I love it.
All right, buddy. Holy shit. I'm going to end up having luckily I'm full-time creating content.
Luckily, I don't have to go upstairs and crawl into bed because I got to wake up early tomorrow.
Mike,
so
hold on. Can I show you guys?
And pass out I'm safe.
Let me show you guys this. Content creating work is very hard. The shelf is getting very dwindled. There's a lot of empty bottles over there, and there's a lot of just nothing over there. You know what? Here, let me do you a little solid. Show you
what do we got? Like a redemption center. There's one. Oh, this is you used to watch some cartoons on Saturday morning on PBS.
Like that
one bottle.
I'm actually I am a little embarrassed to say that is from
this.
That's from
Tuesday,
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then this is today. This is half alcohol, literally.
That's from the start sit till now.
That's start sit. That's Sunday recap and a couple day drinking streams that we've done, and it's a problem.
This fucking stream, bro.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Christmas came early. Santa Zach.
Santa Zach.
Lewis Lit as Santa.
You're Lewis Lit as Santa.
Lewis Lit as Santa. That's fantastic. Oh, here we go.
I'm dying.
Mystic Flame. Here we go, Mike. Hold on, before I get that question. Fizzle's loving the performance tonight.
You know what I hate though is I'm so fat.
Jeez.
I got these big ass cheeks, right? So when your glasses sit back too far, they get all foggy because all the fat from your cheek, the tops of your cheeks, the heat, rises up and then you can't see. So you got to pull them out just a little bit. They can't actually rest on your nose. It's fat guy problems. All right. Fat guy problems 101.
I'll tell you what, I'm in the mood of getting Mike drunk. I just thought of something because comments like this, I'm just trying to stay away from, but you can't interfere. You just let him go.
It's fat guy problems.
If you want, I'm going to make a one-time offer tonight. One-time offer. If you're in the stream, 78 people, if you're coming in a minute, one person today is going to get a hologram made of themselves if they want it, or they could, if they want to mess around with Mike, you can make it whatever you want. A hologram of your choice. The catch is, you got to throw a super chat to make us drink. And any super chats from here on out, you'll have a chance to get a hologram of you or your choice. If you want to make fun of Mike, if you want to make fun of me, I don't care if you want to make fun of Zach, whoever it is. You want to put Zach's name in your mouth, whatever you want to do.
Listen, that fucking you got that emoji in the Discord, right? Of me doing the thing on the draft stream.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that fucking thing as a hologram?
I mean, I'll make it. Listen, your choice. Choice is yours. If you want it, that's what you got. It's on the table. 12-team Dynasty Superflex.
Right,
I can see your sweat, and honestly, it's making me sweat because it's hot down here. All right,
it's hot here.
I'm also been drinking like a freaking fish. Start 12, Mike. Traded Kenneth Walker for Kendra Miller and a 24 first. Yes.
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker for a first is already like close enough. I could lean yep. Walker there, but you give me the process of Kendra Miller. I'm in. Are you in?
I'm in. Like you said, first you're borderline whether you want to go one way or the other. I don't really care. You throw in another running back, especially one that is value depressed because we haven't seen him yet. Right? Like I'm expecting big things, but we haven't been actually like dunked on yet. You know what I mean? If Kendra Miller comes out and he plays 50, 60% of the snaps and doesn't do fuck all, people will go, oh no. Wah, wah, wah.
Fair.
But you're buying them still at a time where people haven't really decided whether they like them or not. And you're buying them before the opportunity where maybe he does play 50, 60% of the snaps at him and he puts up 15, 16 fantasy points. And you just got him basically tossed in.
I love this. When are we getting a Lewis Lit hologram?
Oh, shit. We need a Lewis Lit hologram.
I'll tell you what, we might have to get the Harvey Specter, Mike Ross, Lewis Lit holograms. But if you guys want...
be Donna?
I can't be Donna, but...
You're my Donna.
Zach, I think he's talking to you, buddy.
He'll always be my Donna.
He wants you to be his Donna.
No. Zach's my Lewis Lit. You're my Donna.
T-Rock, I bet Mike is a really good poker player. Mike, you can't call me Lewis Lit and Donna on the same stream, all right? Get your shit together.
Did I call you Lewis Lit? I'm pretty sure I called Zach Lewis Lit.
No, you made him Lewis Lit because I pushed back on the Lewis Lit thing. Remember I told you if I was Lewis Lit, I'd be beating Koopa's ass because he's Mike Ross, and we talked about the scene of us getting in the car. You put us all in the car together. Come on,
right,
stick with us.
You're fucking Daniel Hardman.
Yeesh. I'll be Donna, all right? God.
You'll take the fucking Donna. I love that. I love that you're like, fuck that, I ain't being Hardman. I want to be Donna. I don't want to be Hardman. I don't want to keep trying to take your phone.
I haven't watched this show in years, but I know it so well because I liked it, and it's just been so long. I love the fact that Mike is so into this show right now.
I love it, man. I just can't stop watching it. I binge watch the fuck
Mike,
out.
I have a Blu-ray disc of all of them. Blu-ray discs, plural, because
that's how
it's
old I am?
Yes.
Damn.
I'll bring it on next stream so you can see.
It's like my wife who's got like 47 seasons of NCIS on Blu-ray. Just like, what the fuck? I don't even have a Blu-ray player anymore, I don't think.
Oh, here we go. We all know
Let's go.
If I get it, my hologram is of Rip driving into that auditorium table, bottoms up.
Let's go. If we clip that, we can zoom in, we can make that a hologram of him being sideways.
I think, though, what I will do for dramatic effect is I will have photoshopped the shirt to say the South Harmon quarterback orders.
No. No. I forbid you.
And I think at this point,
Donna,
we're gonna need some competition. Harvey, I'm doing this for your own good.
Donna, I'll make you go work for Lewis.
I already work for Lewis.
I will go make you work for Lewis. You will not. You will not. Look at fucking Matt.
Matt says I'll pay for that.
Listen, you would think Matt's a part of South Harmon the way, officially, like a South Harmon team member, like on the payroll, the way he's out here money laundering.
Well, I do. Let me just say, I do think, though, this shows how much we're missing Rip because this is Rip-like. It's just been a while since we've experienced it. But no, Matt, appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, Matt.
Oh,
love
we
you,
got
buddy.
a couple
Can't
more.
wait
All
to
right,
see
here we
you
go.
next year.
Mick D with the $5 super chat. Mick D, if you're just showing love, that's cool. If you're just showing love, that's cool. But if you want to be a part of this drawing to win, let me get the hologram you want. Here we go. Penrose. Hologram would be dope. Haha, I love you guys and the content. I know the narrative is Dynasty is becoming more like redraft. Can we exploit that?
You can.
Well, first and foremost, let me know what you want the hologram to be if you win. Secondly, yes, you can to an extent. Mike and I have been on this for a while, like the receivers this offseason, like Tyreek Hill.
A good one too. That's a good one to exploit, right? Nobody really in Dynasty values the old wide receiver still, like we do in redraft. Right? Nobody really does. When you talk about specifically Dynasty is becoming more like redraft, we really just focus on the running back position. Quarterbacks, we don't really give a shit about. Tight ends, kind of the same thing. Running backs and wide receivers, massive difference between the two. Nobody values Tyreek Hill like he should properly be valued in Dynasty. Nobody values Stephon Diggs like they properly should be valued in Dynasty. In the same sense, we don't look at running backs outside of, the Bijan Robinsons, Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Halls. Like those are probably the three. We don't really look at running backs anymore like we do in Dynasty. Nobody's looking at a Najee Harris and going like, he's still young, so in 2024 he's going to be this. No one gives a shit. It's what you did in 2023 or get the fuck out. So I think that's where you exploit it from the running back position. But also, if you're in Dynasty, you can also exploit it conversely because nobody values the wide receivers properly like they should be. Everybody looks at Tyreek Hill at the start of the season or in the offseason and goes, this is a 29-year-old wide receiver. Nobody goes, hey, fuck, he might be good for the next 2 years. What are you laughing at?
Sorry. Someone put in here, and I can't believe it, I'm seeing this, the Lewis Lit hate is uncalled for. I'm still listening and agreeing with you. This just made me lose my shit. I'm sorry. Keep going.
But yeah, Penrose, I would say this.
Is Lewis Lit actually in our chat right now?
He might be. Okay. I would fall over backwards out of this chair if that was a real thing.
Go ahead.
Like, I need to get him as a guest on the South Armand Spotlight. Not as the actor who plays Lewis Lit.
Like actually Lewis Lit, yeah. What was it like when they told you had to be Lewis? Like you were going to be this much of a...
What's your favorite kind of mud? What's your favorite opera? Right.
All right, finish the actual good point you were making.
But I would say this, how you can exploit it, at least for me, for the wide receiver position, at least for the entire offseason, has been, I'm going to go acquire Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp. That thing didn't really work out, at least to start the season. But definitely Tyreek Hill is one that I was pushing for because people are valuing him as dynasty wide receiver 8-9 because he's old. I'll take the fucking discount. Like, let me pay up for him because I know at least for the next year and possibly for the next 2 years, at least what's left on his contract, Tyreek Hill is going to produce at an elite level. So that's how I would exploit it. Conversely, if people still value a running back like Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson, any of these kind of running backs that are fringe that aren't these super elite talents like Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, Breece Hall, fuck them. Play them in 1 year windows. Who gives a shit? What can you do for me in 2023? Going forward, what can you do for me in 2024? Don't ever look at them as 2-3 year assets.
I love it. Let me just say this here. Like, we got a lot of drinking to do. I may have done a bad thing by this, but I'm doing it anyway. No, I mean, I'm admitting it. When I say may, I'm acknowledging that I did. Okay.
It's a good problem.
Koopa, super chat. Drink up. Fair enough.
All right. Just did.
All right. Now, here's the thing. There's also other ones. There's other things happening here.
Look, I'm fingering the turtle.
I was gonna say leave the turtle out of this, okay? This is the type of things that Zach with the super chat. You drink, I smoke. Cheers. Eggplant emoji hologram. There's some really great options. Mike, I will say though, I'm gonna give. Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna drop as many of these sounders as I can.
Listen, we're gonna have a winner, but you're gonna have your work cut out for you for all the runners up.
I do think that at this point I've kind of made my bed.
You did.
There's a lot of holograms that need to be made because this one, Fizzle.
Sleep hologram.
I have a winner as a request. So, like, Fizzles is going to get made regardless. Even if he wins. Regardless of if he wins. Let me rephrase it. Regardless of if he wins, there will be a Sleeping Cody hologram. Period.
Not the turtle. Not the turtle. Mike Ross isn't having it. My glasses are fogged up again.
Leave my turtle out of this, man. The poor turtle.
Not the turtle. Oh my God.
Mike's on fire. All right, let's get to some actual questions, and we can get out of here in a minute. Give everyone else a couple chances to put their hat in the ring, and then I'll have Mike run a. You know what, Mike? We'll run it right now live. There's not that many. We can run a 40-yard dash. You want to pull one up? I'll answer some questions. Let's do a 40-yard dash.
Let me pull it up here. We'll get started on this baby. 100-yard dash, not 40-yard, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah, it's well, I will say that just showed that I've been drinking because I called it a 40-yard dash. But look at Matt, dude. Mike is gonna die.
Yeah, probably.
That would be a bad thing because
it'll be fine.
We love the content. All right,
let's piss on the floor.
Let's get to a couple questions.
It's in the basement.
I've been starring questions, believe it or not. I'm not actually drunk. One more for y'all. 12-team Dynasty Superflex start 11, a 24 first and 25 third, or Judy, Nico, Antonio Gibson first side easy. I'm good. Gibson, I'm not really buying. Like third or Gibson right now.
Start 11, man. I just take the first.
Yeah, dude.
Start 11. Yeah.
It would need to be Mike. Is there a point in lineup? Because here's the thing: if this is in best ball, I might consider it.
Best ball, yes.
Is there a point in lineup? Okay, I was gonna say it's got to be crazy.
Start 13. I play in a couple. I play in like one or two lineup start 13s where they're almost best ball principles because there's a lot of dudes going into those last flex spots that are fucking.
By the way, say that is a 12-team or higher start 13 because just do the math. There's too many starters weekly, right?
Right.
The one thing I have a 14 team. One of my lineups is a 12-team, 14 starters. And honestly, Mike, that league is just mayhem. It's honestly basically like who comes out of the end of the regular season with the least attrition. Like that's what it becomes every year, right? Correct. Like who's stayed healthy or who's got enough draft picks to buy the healthiest team at the end of the year. Is the way that works.
I'm with you. But in this format, start 11, I'll take the first and the third. And you can have the rest of that.
By the way, I'm doing this on purpose at this point. Fizzles is going to stay where the super chats go because it's so damn good, and everyone else's chats will go where Mike is because it's how I'm feeling.
Perfect.
Does Kyler play this year? Is he a Cardinal next year? If not, where do we think he is? All right, Sean, this is 3 questions in one. Normally I make you super chat, but we're here. Kyler plays this year. I think the answer is yes, but I understand the speculation.
Yes. And since I asked yes to the second part, I don't need to answer the third.
I like what you did. That's what we call math, drunk math. He's not a Cardinal next year, man. He's not.
He's a fucking Cardinal next year.
I don't think he is. I would like him to be. I don't think that. I think they have so much to solve that I understand them wanting to go get their quarterback, but I actually think they have too many other things to solve to spend that high of a pick on not just trading out of it and getting multiple pieces that are really, really good for their team and building around Kyler. But I do think the narrative of this new regime doesn't want to build around Kyler. I that's what I feel in my heart. But we're 2 weeks in. A lot can change. A lot can change.
It's a lot of money. A lot of money to trade Kyler.
It sure is.
A lot.
And you know what happened with Stafford, for the record? Like, it wasn't as much, but they'll eat some of it, right? They'll eat some of it.
I get that, but what did you just say? Wasn't as much.
Correct. Well, it's also relative too, though, right? The market's kind of ballooned. I get you, though. It's fair points. But the answer still stands. He will not be a Cardinal next year. I think he's playing. Mike, there's no debate, in my opinion, for you and me. He's going to play this year, right? Bookmark it. Christian, Fizzle. At this point, anybody that's still with us. We still have
how many
super
high chats
viewership.
So I can set this 100-yard.
All right, guys, we're going to set the 100-yard dash, so last chances here. All right, we got Fizzle. We got Zach. We got Koopa. We got Penrose, Mick D, Matt Dennis, Corey. That's going to be it.
7?
7. I like this.
7 right now.
That's teamwork right there. We got fingers and we got scrolling. You know,
I had to get 2 hands out for that. That's pretty good. 7. All right, last call. 3,
2, 1. If any fly in the next 60 seconds because we're on a little bit of a delay, I'll put them in. But otherwise, we'll run it.
Okay. So who do we have? Go through them again.
Okay. While we do this, if you have a super chat come in, that's the only exception. Fizzle,
And then I got to retype all this again.
This is going to be awesome. This is a
And I
live.
spelled
This
fizzle
is a
wrong.
true
I'm
live.
such a piece of shit.
Fizzle. Mike's drinking. Don't take it personal. Just put it out there.
We're good. We're good.
Lewis Lit.
Lois.
Lois. We
Lit.
got Matt Dennis. Not to be confused with McD.
MD.
McD. Because there's a McD and then there's an MD.
All right, that's good.
All
Well,
right.
I got MD and McD.
Oh, this is only confusing as hell. Corey
No.
Schumer.
I'm going to spell this wrong. But who gives a shit?
You just put
Schumer.
valedictorian. You have a better chance spelling that right, probably.
I just put Go-Birds.
Penrose.
Penrose.
Like one word, just combine the two words into one.
I got it.
And then we got turtle. Or the poor turtle.
Poor turtle. All right, I'm running this shit. I'll share my screen here too for you.
Penrose says you guys are crushing this.
Let's go. That's
All
what
right.
we do.
All right, let's do it, man.
We'll put this up. I'll shuffle it too so people know it's legit.
All right, there it is. Hold on. We need reactions, so Mike, give me a second. I need to add a couple camera overlays, all right?
Oh, camera overlays.
You and I need to be on here, period. It's just the way it has to be, all right?
Oh, I get you. Well, I got shuffled 20 times. Just felt like a good number. Just how many times I
give me a
clicked.
sec here. So where do I do this? Hold on.
Legend. 20.
You know? This is gonna be
I'm
fantastic.
feeling real good after me and the turtle, consummated our love.
I love this. All right, so here we got. So let's put this guy up here. That's a little bit big, but
That's a big. You ain't gonna be see it, but the finish line.
well,
Look at that.
don't worry, buddy. I'll help you out here. All right, overlay.
Now it kind of looks like I'm running,
You see?
which is a sight to behold.
Boom! Look at this, man. This
I
is
gotta
what we
hit
call
you.
on the spot. Y'all think I'm drunk out here doing this, right? Like, come on.
You
All right.
ready?
I'm ready. Is everybody ready? Because ready or not, here we go.
Here we go.
We go back.
Speed.
Go. Actually, normal speed. Yeah. Let's have a little
A little drama.
Yeah, a little drama. There you go. I like that.
100-yard rush. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Go.
Let's see who gets it. This is high quality content right here. Even for me drinking that McD up is a big lead. Oh shit! You scared the fuck out of me. I hit my microphone there with my Svedka.
I do love I'm trying to put a little more production into stuff.
Come on,
and
fizzle.
It's making Mike get scared on sets. Like, this is my favorite thing now.
It's freaking me out. Fizzle.
Oh, McD. Oh, here comes MD. Not to be confused with McD.
No, I think
I know what
Penrose
Fizzle's
has
doing.
got this
Fizzle
in
is absolutely
Dude, my money's on
sandbagging.
we hit the 50-yard mark. Penrose has got it. McD's gonna pull a hammy here. No, Jesus! Look at this guy. This is like Puka fucking Nacua out here. Oh shit! Who we got? Schumer the valedictorian. Can he catch up? He's got 30 yards to make it up. Do you think he's gonna do it? Final answer.
Say it again. I'm literally reading the comments. Sorry. Dr. B. Harris says he's got $100 on player 3.
$100 on player 3.
I think that McD's gonna win this thing.
Dude, he's gonna win wire to wire. Look at this fucking guy.
Come on,
Unless he,
Penrose. Give him a challenge.
No,
let me get
no.
my face out of the hold on.
Done. Look at that. McD.
Wow.
McD. Go.
I will say,
start to finish.
that was completely anticlimactic, though.
I will say that it was anticlimactic that Fizzle is in fucking last place. Come on.
Is there any shock that the turtle comes in fourth?
No.
The poor turtle.
Well, not after what happened to that turtle.
Someone tell me what Mike did to Fizzle. This is just fucking wrong. You know what? This shows you, like, this poor kid just joined the team, right? He's made us songs, and look at this type of treatment, man.
This fucking Fizzle character's got
Fizzle
the
says,
40.
why am I running like Jerry Jones?
I was gonna say he's got the 40 time of fucking Tony Jones. Like,
Bro.
Jesus fucking Christ, what are we doing here?
Bro, that's so. McD, congrats.
Dude,
you know what's the
the
best
show-
part too? Look, can I just say, here before I switch overlays. McD's the only person that we have on here that didn't say a fucking word with his super chat. I have no idea what hologram he wants.
McD, what's up, buddy?
The floor is yours.
Gets a run of the mill. It's gonna be me fingering a turtle, guaranteed.
I'm with Fizzle here. I think Mike we didn't get to see him like make the settings. I think he might have made him slow. Like you can make the speed on these guys. I think it's like you know how in Madden you can go in and mess with players. Like they can look just like the player that they are, but you could say like, hey, Jalen Carter, like he's slow and he stinks. I feel like I'm with Fizzle on this. I stand with Fizzle.
Fizzle had like a -20 for speed rating, like a fucking -20. It was one of the worst 100-yard rushes I've ever seen, and I've done a few of these. Holy Santa Claus shit! I've never seen somebody start last and finish last by like 10 minutes.
Dog.
From when everybody else did. Holy fuck.
Dog. Listen,
That's
I honestly think
right
I do believe, like, I could be a little bit exaggerating, but I don't think it's by much. I think the way McD ran, like McD might have beaten Fizzle if he had to run it again. That's how messed up that fucking Mike did him.
McD gonna go back. It's probably because Fizzle's a Commanders fan. We just found this out.
Well, Mike, here, this must be a Commanders chat. Literally, he just typed that on spot. On God, that's not made up.
So for those of you who don't know, right, in the Discord we call ourselves Shit Commanders, right? So I made a chat.
Wow. Hold on, real quick. I gotta say this comment is so savage. McD's deferring. He says, "Give it to Fizzle. That L was more impressive than the dub." Damn.
Look at that Big D. Look at that Big D.
That is. You want to talk about a backhanded compliment? Like that's like I don't even want this now. No.
Fizzle, he just called you a best ball quarterback.
Jiminy Christmas. Bro, look, you got to see these fucking comments. I mean, it is fantastic shit. Fizzle with the Commander, though. Go ahead, Mike. Finish the Commander part since you're out here spoiling
I was going to
say,
in the Discord, everybody of importance, like, this part of the South Harmon team, we call South Harmon, shit commanders. Right. So I made a chat, where just for the commanders, right? Just
it's literally shit commanders only, right?
Right. So I called it shit commanders only. And Fizzle, I actually just called it Commanders Only Fans.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
Right.
Commanders
like
Only
a
Fans.
play on words.
We called ourselves
Commanders
shit
Only.
Commanders, right? So we put Commanders Only Fans.
Commanders Only Fans. And for the longest time, Fizzle was like, I thought this was just for Commanders.
He's like, I just stay out of this chat because it's only Commanders fans. Like Washington Commanders. As a Dallas Cowboys fan, he's like, I'm just never going to go into this chat. I'm not even going to click it.
Why the fuck do you guys got a private chat just for Commanders fans? This is so fucking stupid.
And guess what? When he finally clicks into that, he's like, oh, now I get it.
It was the best thing ever.
I will admit, like, his transparency made that fucking fantastic for me. He was like, man, I thought really for the longest time this was a, like, Washington Commanders only.
I can see why you would never click that.
She says, man, this isn't Fizzle Friday. This is Roast Fizzle Wednesday. Fizzle, you know we love you, big dog. You know we love you. Holy shit.
Oh,
man.
no. Commanders Only Fans.
By the way, Fizzle, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier with Zach. When we know you and we love you, like this is the shit emojis are kind of real because we're going to – part of our affection is shitting on you, frankly. But
I'm dying. All
right, so McD. By the way, let me just give another here real quick. This is McD drops a super chat for the hologram. He never announces an hologram, and then when he wins, he says, "Listen, Fizzle's L was so bad that I'm gonna let him have the answer." And I think the truth is, if I'm gonna go through and say there was some really good suggestions, but Fizzle had the best hologram idea. I think by a good bit.
I love it.
I'm going to bring it back up because Cody sleeping. I almost at this point wish I had all of the pictures of Cody sleeping. Like if we had one of him on the toilet, if we had one of him in the kitchen, and we had one of him in the auditorium sleeping. Like that would have been a hologram for holograms. Like the trifecta. Like they're talking about like the Holy Trinity, right? Like you had all three of those. Oh man.
I should have. I'm sorry. That's my failure.
It's an amateur mistake by all of us. I was there in the morning when he's sleeping. I was the one that woke him. All right. It's on me, if anyone.
I did get you a toilet beer selfie, though. So I got that going for me.
Do you want a toilet beer hologram? Is that what you're trying to get at?
just for the ultimate shitter of the week. we got the sleeper of the week right here for Cody sleeping.
I do think
the
a close number 2 though is the Rip idea, and I'm gonna Photoshop the South Harmon QB Hoarder shirt onto him. That's gonna be number 2. And I do think, Mike, honestly, at this point, like, you know, I like to give Zach a lot of shit, but the eggplant emoji hollow is pretty solid too. That's pretty solid. So I'm gonna go.
We had a lot of winners today.
Yeah, I think everybody wins here in the end. We all get holograms,
and only one real loser. And Fizzle running like what was that? A 7.940.
Well, but in fairness though, he was so and Mick D said this. He was so impressively slow that he actually won because of it.
That's true. But shout out to my grandma who's dead. You know, rest in peace, Nana. Pretty sure she beat Fizzle by at least like 7 or 8 seconds. Like Nana got out of her grave, and ran that 40, that 100.
Bro, this man is out here. Oh my gosh.
Nana's quick. All right, Nana's quick.
He literally did the cross, the RIP, and all this, and
yeah, she's not as quick as Grandpa. Now, Nana used to tell me how fast Grandpa was, and I always thought she meant running. And then I got older, and I knew exactly what.
And you knew it was about the eggplant emoji.
I knew it was about the eggplant. Like she used to say, he was a jackrabbit, just bing bang boom out. She'd be jealous.
I'll be honest with y'all. It is far past time. It is far past time. Check Discord for an auditorium sleeping Cody. Okay, Corey, I'll take that into consideration. Mike, you a wild boy. I'll be honest with you. This is going to go down as the and Koopa hit this. What is tonight? I'll be honest with you.
It's Puka Nacua.
It's about the same as Puka. It's about the same as what South Harmon is at this point. I have no fucking idea. I'm just here. Don't shoot the messenger. Mike, you remember this song? Remember this beat? This is the old, what was it? Come on now. The old countdown timer. Come on now. He's muted. I have no idea what he's trying to tell me.
That doesn't matter.
What,
I was going to say, it was the old school countdown timer we used to have before we leaned into, actual production quality, which you, my friend, have taken to the next level. So thank you so much. I just come on here to get drunk like a dumbass and talk about my Nana and my papa. Happy meals.
Talk about RIP. All right. Matt Dennis is out here saying it was about the shots. I'm not going to sit here and act like the shots didn't become a part of this. Let me just say, make sure if you haven't, start tapping into ATM's money moves. Coming out every Monday or Tuesday.
Look at that fucking promo.
Drop that in there right quick. Just a slide in. Just a little quick slide in. Just a little quick slide in, man. We love you guys. We'll see you back here.
Money shots.
Same time, same place for the money shots next week. But South Harmon AMA is now on Wednesdays. We love you guys. We're out of this thing. Peace.
Peace. Oh, fuck.